buying everything.
They had General Chow's chicken?
Yeah.
No.
Yeah.
I didn't see that.
It was quite good, actually.
I would have had
Nice and
General
spicy.
Chow's chicken.
Yeah.
I love that.
Me too.
I love General Chow. He probably was some communist who fought us and kicked our ass at General Chow.
Nobody even knows how to spell his name.
TSAO. General Chow.
It's been spelled 10 billion different ways.
And I tell you, I love these Japanese sushi chefs. I go over to say hi to them, and they will not shake your hand. They bow.
Yes.
And I bowed to them. And I'll tell you what, that's a custom we ought to adapt.
I was going to say, you probably want to start bowing here to people.
Because I got a cold now, and I'm telling you, I already took my airborne, but I'll tell you what, it's from shaking all these mother effers' hands. I'm including everyone from the radio station. Gotta shake hands. What, they never saw me before? We're together every day. You come in, hey, Howard. Crying out loud.
For some of the salespeople, it was the first time they met you.
Yeah, well, you know what? I don't need to shake anybody's hand because that's how you get sick. I swear to God, I'm reading more articles about this.
Well, why don't you start bowing?
I should just bowed.
Yeah.
I said, no, I bow. I'm Japanese. You feel like a douche going to somebody. And then, now I'm going, I have a cold. I can't shake hands. I did that at Ross Zapin's birthday party. Everybody who walked in, I go, this was Saturday night. I went to a birthday party. I go, I can't shake your hand. I got a cold. Meanwhile, 27,000 people I'm telling this to.
Right.
But it doesn't matter. I got a cold now. I know I got one coming.
You should get yourself like a Fu Manchu mustache and put on one of those robes and keep your hands tucked in and just bow every time somebody says hello.
No, I got to do the whole Artie performance thing.
I'll try to get rid of this today. And so I hope you get this. It's the only number I figured I could call. All right, so I'm not going to be there today. I'm going to rest today. I should be there tomorrow, hopefully. All right, I'm sorry.
He sounds fine.
Yeah, he's almost breaking out of it.
I just got to get rid of this. I can't.
All right, shut up if you're so sick.
I think he's well already.
Right. If you're sick, hey, I'm sick, I'm not coming.
And
all right, man. Later, man.
He does a lot of oh,
he's sick. Can't think.
Which one do you think is better? That one? Robin's calling for sick?
Well, Robin at least lost her voice on her call.
I didn't have a voice.
Hello, Karen. Or Jackie's.
Jackie's was the best.
Yeah, that was another one. Everyone with the performance.
Do you remember the time Jackie got up? I think we were still, were we at NBC? Jackie called in because of the snow. He never got up to look out. No, we must have been here because it was mornings.
Yeah.
He never got up to look out. It didn't snow.
Dude, he said, oh, there's so much snow.
Yeah, he says, I can't make it.
Do we have that?
I don't know, but we did. He definitely did that.
Wow.
I think there was NBC.
I don't know, because it was in the mornings.
Oh, that's great.
Yeah, he got up. There was supposed to be a ton of snow. He didn't even look out.
Can't get in because of the snow. It wasn't one bit of snow on the ground.
No, it never snowed.
Yeah, oops. Amen. But I'm into the bowing thing. Yeah, so the Christmas party, you come in, you got the gambling going, you got the good food going, you got the drinks going. So I had a reservation. I was taking Robin out to Il Molino, the Italian restaurant.
Great place.
And I had it all set up for 8:30. I got a table for 4. I got the whole thing reserved. And we ended up, the Christmas party was so good, we ended up staying.
Well, all of a sudden, they started circulating. There's a big surprise. Don't leave. Don't leave.
Yeah, and I said, I'm leaving, so they had to tell me the surprise ahead of time. It was kind of cool. Yeah. Billy Idol shows up at our Christmas party to sing karaoke to his own song.
It was great.
We're not for a white wedding. It's funny, he did 2 songs, and he ripped his shirt off.
Yeah, he really got into it.
And the funniest thing I saw at the Christmas party is, as soon as Billy Idol's shirt came off, Benji took his shirt off.
Benji took all of his clothes off. I saw him putting back on his pants.
Yeah, it was funny. That was the funniest thing I ever saw. I got to admit, man, that was funny.
Thank you.
That was a good move. Because you go, hey, look at Benji's undressed.
Did you see Benji lift him up?
No.
Benji picked Billy Idol up to have his picture taken with him.
Oh, no.
And did the perfect curled lip Billy Idol thing.
Really?
Yeah.
I didn't see that.
Yep.
Yeah, Benji, the life of the party. Life of the party. You got the picture?
I don't know. I think Isaac may have taken it.
Isaac. Well, we'll get that up on the website.
Yeah.
You two guys with your shirts off.
He's really light, actually.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Benji said something funny to me. We're sitting there at the party, and he comes over and he goes, every time I try to like go over and talk to Tom, I think he'll always have that image of me naked sitting on the couch, pleasuring myself in the studio. And I go, yeah, that might stick with him. He goes, I don't think he's ever going to take me seriously.
It's a hard one to shake. It is a hard one to shake, I have to admit.
I go, yeah, man, it is hard to talk to you, dude. It was a good time at the Christmas party.
Yeah, it was fun to see everybody.
Yeah, it was nice. Billy Idol performing. Billy Idol's a nice guy.
Yeah,
I was talking to him because he was a real dick when I met him at NBC years ago.
100 years ago.
He was on my show when I did afternoons at NBC, and the guy came in, and he was at the height of his fame. Somebody convinced him to come on my dumb show.
Well, this was at the very beginning. He was just coming over from England, but they knew he was going to be big because those songs were testing so well.
Yeah, and he came in to do my show, and he was like, hey, mate. And
he could hardly wake up for the show, remember?
Couldn't wake up.
Pretty much dead.
Hated me, couldn't answer a question. He was like, oh, you want, mate. And sometimes he just wouldn't even answer me.
You got a cigarette?
Yeah, got a cigarette.
You got a cigarette? It's intelligent.
So,
it was great.
Yeah. Then all of a sudden, this new Billy Idol comes in.
Yeah, he's fun.
He's fun. Nice guy. Hanging out. Bussing tables. That's my man.
Taking pictures with everybody on the way out. Anybody want a picture taken? He waited.
Yeah.
I couldn't believe he ripped his shirt off to sing the second song.
That was great. It was great.
He's like, hey, this karaoke's all right.
Yeah, I think he was bumming out at first. And then he got up and he got into it. You saw us carrying out to Robin go down on the floor.
The mosh pit started.
Robin fell down on the floor.
Yeah, I heard you say that.
She tried to be a wise ass and push people into the mosh pit. And guess what happened?
See, it got me.
Freaking karma bit her on the ass.
Came back and got me right away.
What'd you go, flat down on your ass?
No, I just slid, and boom, on my butt.
I wish I'd seen that. That must have been wild. Isn't that embarrassing?
I hopped right up and hid behind Mr. X.
Did he see you go down?
No, thank goodness. His back was turned.
Yeah,
so let me get out of here.
I brought my girlfriend. You weren't supposed to, but I did anyway. I didn't care. You brought your boyfriend.
I know.
Well, because I was just going to stop into the party and then head over to Il Molino. Now, that Il Molino, I love that restaurant. I got to tell you, but I tried to call to cancel the reservation. We didn't get through till 11:30 at night.
Are you kidding? Oh, no. No wonder you were saying, they'll never let me in again.
Yeah, no, but I said to them, I feel really bad. And actually, we didn't get through till the next morning because Laura kept calling.
Wow.
And I said, I feel really bad. I had a reservation and we were trying to cancel, but it was busy. The guy goes, don't worry about it. Happens all the time. We have one phone line. It's busy all night.
Oh, is that what it is?
And people can't cancel. Because it's our fault.
Yeah.
So I was like, okay, don't be mad at me because I want to be able to get back in there.
That's why it's such a hard place to get a reservation.
Right, all these places.
I know. Invest in a couple of phone lines.
I even said to them, I didn't know my dumb friggin' Christmas party was going to be so good. Couldn't leave. Was having a good time. Everyone said the big surprise.
We were all prepared for it to suck.
Yeah. I ate the food, too. It was good.
Yeah, I had some of the hors d'oeuvres. They were great.
Yep.
All right, Tom.
Nice job.
All right, you knocked yourself out.
Mike Pierre booking Billy Idol was great.
I said, I got nothing to criticize. Too bad. Would have been a much funnier show, ragging on Tom. I couldn't find one thing wrong.
I know. It was perfectly set up. There were plenty of people around to help.
And then Lisa got up, the saleswoman, and sang her karaoke. She's so good at it.
Of course.
Sal cursed her out on the second song.
Why?
I don't know. Sal, in the middle of her second song, Sal jumps up and says, would you shut the
F up?
Yeah.
That was funny. I heard that. It's like someone just said, enough already with your karaoke.
Because she would have given a whole concert.
Oh, I reminded Sal that 3 months ago he was a listener. So.
Right, and wouldn't have been at the party.
Yes, don't get too carried away. All right. Anyway, that was our Friday night.
Just I got in big trouble the next day.
Why?
With my wife.
Because you didn't bring her.
Yeah.
Did you end up going over to Scores?
Yes.
That's why he didn't have Penelope.
Yeah.
But that's why he didn't have any of the wives.
A lot of
Who went over to Scores? Everyone?
Oh, it was packed.
Hello, Tiffany.
It was packed.
You got a lap dance?
No.
You liar.
I swear I didn't.
You went to Scores? You didn't
Why
get a lap
do you
dance?
go to Scores?
No lap dance.
You know what? I couldn't. it was real smoky.
Was Lonnie there when you went?
Yeah.
And he didn't take care of you with a lap dance?
Lonnie was like, Tom, whatever you want. The place is yours.
Look at that. And
Where did you go? East side or west side?
East.
When Lonnie says that to you, that's a very special statement.
I know. And
when Lonnie says the place is yours, whatever you want, you take him up on it.
So I kept giving to the, gave a whole bunch of people lap dances.
You gave
lap dances.
So what were you, drunk? You got naked?
Women came over to me saying, hey, Lonnie, I said, no, you know what? Go do him, go do her, go do...
Why can't you get a lap dance? Is it against this thing, the pact you made with God?
No, last time I was there, I definitely did. I had a couple, but this time it was...
Mrs. God.
No, had nothing to do with God or anything.
I was going to say, Tom was giving lap dances.
Tom, this is God. You better not get a lap dance. Your ass is grass.
Lap
God,
dances.
I hear you, but it had nothing to do with it.
Lap dance.
Mortal sins.
I'm proud of you that you don't touch yourself anymore, but you better calm down with these lap dances. I'll give you cancer again so fast you won't know what hit you.
Well, that's one of the reasons I left. I couldn't take the smoke.
Really?
Yeah.
Somehow I never smell the smoke when I'm in there.
They smoke in Scores?
Yeah, I guess there's one area.
Yeah, there's one special room where you can smoke.
Yeah.
Oh.
It's an outdoor room with ventilation or something.
There were a couple of really cute dancers, too.
Hey, what's wrong with you? Get a nice lap
You've seen
dance.
JD.
What'd he do?
Oh, JD was the king of the lap dance.
Really?
Oh yeah.
JD.
Who woke him up?
JD's a weirdo. I mean, for a million reasons, but
He's a nice kid.
nice kid. But like Beth gets email from him all the time and all this.
Oh, yeah?
And she goes up to JD. She goes, JD, how you doing? He's like, oh, hello. and then like he is that kid in Napoleon Dynamite. He goes, hello, hi. And then
Can't make eye contact.
And he's like, she goes, JD, come on.
Oh, dear.
I got to tell you, though, I've been told by many people here that when JD walks through the doors of Scores, he becomes a different person.
He looked like the same person to me, just enjoying a lap dance.
Beth said to me, like, you're so unfriendly, and like you know her.
Yo, I try to talk to her, but there's like a million people that come up to her whenever.
But she was talking. I saw her walk up. I saw it. She walked up to. She goes, JD, how you doing?
No, we talked, but like
you have no rap.
We talked, but someone would come up and she would start talking to them. I was like,
He's definitely practicing to have a rap, though, because he's already got a hello down.
Yeah, I see that.
He has,
hey, dude.
You know,
hey,
how you doing?
What do you call me in the hall every day? Hey, dude, or hey.
I just say what's up.
No. He's got some attitude.
Yeah. But after that, he falls apart. He has nothing else to say.
Yeah, right. He's good at hello. He's getting more assertive with that. Hey, dude. Hey, what's happening?
And then you lose it.
You're doing all right on the hellos.
Oh, thanks. I try.
No, you're sprucing up.
So he was lap dancing himself?
You got lap dances?
Yeah.
How many?
I only paid for one. Lonnie hooked me up.
How many did you have the whole night?
Probably like 7 or 8.
Oh, look at you.
Tom, I don't understand why you didn't get a lap dance.
I'm telling you, that was why. I just wanted to make sure other people were taken care of, and then I got tired and I got smoky, and I just don't.
Did you get horny looking at all those chicks?
I mean, the one I forget who was the little blonde.
Dude, I only remember one name.
Why should I learn anyone's name?
There's one very cute blonde who was natural. Probably the only one I saw that was natural.
I think that was one of our interns. I think you made a mistake.
No,
I heard some of the interns showed up.
Oh, yeah?
Oh, yeah.
Really?
Because Jason said that he was told, somebody pulled him off to the side and said, dude, you can't invite the interns to Scores. It's just not,
right.
Not right. And then Jason said he walks in and every intern's there.
You know what was great? There's one, is that a saleswoman who has the account for those neat pictures?
Yes.
Oh, okay. Jennifer.
Yeah.
She's real hot.
She's cute,
really
yeah.
Cute, yeah.
So, like, I know a bunch of dudes, I ain't going to mention any names, all wanted into her pants.
Oh, really?
Yeah, and everyone was hitting on her. And I'm watching this all go down, and Jason was, like, just working her the whole friggin' night. Jason?
They even sang karaoke together.
And and I'm watching this whole thing, and Beth says, oh, I was talking to her. I go, yeah, she's in, like, a deep relationship with her boyfriend, and she's not interested in Jason. Jason put in the whole night.
Oh, my goodness.
Like, rapping on her, working her. But, boy, she's hot.
She's very cute.
Yeah, she's cute. You, dude, that chick is so into her boyfriend. You wasted an entire night.
Well, no. He's going to tell you right now. That's his friend.
No. I wasted the whole night with her. But no, I'm not wasted. I had a great time. It was a great, awesome time.
You look like a big dummy.
If he was trying to get into her pants, he shouldn't have danced.
This cat knows how to work, though. He was busy. Oh, yeah. By the way, you were the laughing stock on the dance floor. Everyone was commenting on your dancing.
In a negative way?
Yeah. Everyone comes up to me and goes, you got to watch Jason dance. You were the dude. You were the guy. You were the at the office party, the weirdo who dances funny and doesn't know it.
I couldn't help it, man. I was drunk and having a good time. Yeah.
Go for it, man. You were working that chick pretty good.
Yeah, we hung out all night. Ended up dropping her off at the train station around 3 o'clock in the morning.
You.
But, the whole night, Ronnie just kept coming up to me all drunk. He's like, you aren't going anywhere.
Did you try to kiss her goodnight?
Yeah,
It's a yes.
Oh, man. And what'd she tell you? She has a boyfriend, right?
she has a boyfriend, and I'm seeing somebody,
Right.
so, But we hung out, and it was fun.
Yeah, you're seeing somebody, I'm seeing somebody. You know what I'm saying, baby.
I did at some point, like around 2 o'clock in the morning, though. I did get a little too drunk and desperate, and I started going to this weird rap about how, things aren't really working out between me and my girlfriend.
Meanwhile, everything's fine, right?
Oh, everything's great. I hung out with her all weekend after.
You tried your rap.
That was horrible.
Yeah.
I just threw it out there.
Yeah. Hey, you tried though.
Yeah.
She's too hot, man.
She's too hot.
She's too hot for you.
She's beautiful.
Yeah, she's beautiful.
I've noticed her since she first started working. I was glad she got that picture account, because that don't mean she's gonna be here for a while, right, Tom?
Yeah.
Oh,
She's one of the.
Yeah, we're all rooting for her.
She's one of
Go
the
get
chicks
her some business.
She's one of the chicks that sort of flew under the radar. Like, she got here, and I didn't immediately notice her. And then, of course, Jason pointed her out to me. And
Right.
You should see what she was wearing at the DFP. She's really hot.
That's the problem with these Christmas parties. They encourage inter-office dating,
Well,
and then
this
that
is
leads
what
to
you
more
said,
problems.
yeah.
Absolutely. And then Tom makes it worse by no wives or girlfriends. Or if your girlfriend was there, you wouldn't be talking to that chick all night.
Oh, are you kidding me?
Right.
Well, then, hello, how you doing?
That's one of the reasons why, though.
Oh, come on.
Oh, you want inter-office shenanigans?
No, I don't. No.
We don't need inter-office shenanigans here.
People are looser. People are definitely looser without their wives there.
Yeah.
But I get such a big chill on Saturday morning.
Oh, yeah. Well, yeah, come on. And I brought my girlfriend, which is wrong to do when everyone else isn't, but
it was fine.
It was fine. Everyone's happy to look at Beth, believe me.
And Mr. X was there.
Mr. X is the life of the party.
Mr. X is fun.
He's funny.
So we
I told you he's a funny guy. What?
We going to dinner?
Oh, he didn't. In my drunken haze, I think I agreed to dinner with Tom.
Did you say you'd go to dinner?
And I agreed with you.
Oh, gee.
Yeah, but now I'm sober. I'll get us out of it. Don't worry. No, we'll do it.
Okay.
Yeah. It was fun.
I'm glad everybody had a good time. It was a good party.
Yeah, it was a good party with some funny shenanigans going on there. All right, I got to take a break.
But no complaints about Tom's party. You can't complain.
No, this sucks. It's a sucky rap. What are you going to do, man? The party was good. I got to say.
Thanks to Jody. Thanks to Mike Peer getting Billy Idol there, and the Hard Rock did a great job.
Hard Rock Cafe, nice place.
All right.
So, what you guys promise? Did you guys have to promise Billy Idol anything?
Nothing.
You have to say you play his record in the middle of the night.
No, can't do that. Won't do that. Can't do that.
Really?
Yeah.
You can't say to him, "We'll play your record."
Can't
Why not? Why can't you? Is that Payola?
Payola. It's illegal.
Really?
Yep.
You mean you say, "Hey, play our party, and I'll play your record a couple of times"? Give me the record.
That's illegal?
Is it illegal for me to play? I'll play.
No, you can do it.
Is it illegal if we said, like, if Billy Idol does a party, we'll put him on our show? Is that illegal?
Yeah.
Yeah, I guess so.
But I would put him on, because like he said to me, "Hey, Howard, can I be on your show?" And you know me, I can't say no. That's your job.
Right.
So I said, yeah. Yeah, you got to come on, man.
So now he's, all right.
Don't go out of your way.
I won't. No, they'll call me, believe me.
On the way out, they dragged me over and said, "Come on, get your picture taken." And I said, "Ben, by the way, thanks for playing the record." I said, "Oh, you're welcome."
Oh, no. They must have told him that.
Yeah, we play it all the time. And back in the office. All right, we got to take a break. We'll be back right after these words. All right, here's a couple of questions for Artie from the Howard Stern Bulletin Board.
Okay.
Do you think Howard is too skinny and has an eating disorder?
No.
Okay.
He's not too skinny, and he doesn't have an eating disorder.
Oh, you don't think you look too skinny? No. I mean, I put on weight easy when I eat a lot, so, you know.
If your dad could hear you say just one thing to him, what would you say?
I'm on the Howard Stern show.
Really?
Is he a fan?
That's what I tell him. Yeah. He's the reason I listened.
Oh, wonderful.
I'd want him to know that. And, I took care of Mom.
If you could bring one girl in the bedroom to share with Dana, who would it be?
Well, there's no girl up to that snuff.
Well, if you had to, Dana forced you
have
to.
yeah.
Oh, okay, if you put it like that. Wow, there's so many hot... well, I've always been a Carmen Electra guy.
All right.
I've always been a big Carmen Electra guy.
All right. Where's the strangest place you ever pleasured yourself?
You know, I was asked this recently by somebody. It's probably when I was doing that movie, The Bachelor. I was in my trailer, and I was late for a scene, and I was like really horny, and I relieved myself in the trailer, and the assistant director's like knocking on my door. I'm like, I'm in the bathroom. I fucked with a towel in the bathroom.
What was the biggest a-hole celebrity encounter you ever had? Any celebrities ever treat you like an ass?
Well, it's the Tom Cruise story on Jerry Maguire.
What was that?
He really made me feel like a douchebag.
Oh, I remember this one.
Oh, I don't remember.
Well, I had one scene in the movie Jerry Maguire. It's the first movie I was ever in, and I learned my lines, and the scene's with him. So in the script, I have to take a pause before I enter the scene. So I made sure I learned it like exactly how I had to do it, so I didn't piss anybody off. And I take a pause, I do it, I take a pause, I do it. We do 2 takes, and in front of everyone, he just looks at me and he goes, "Hey, could you come in quicker, please?" Screams it at me. So everybody puts their head down and looks down, and I don't know what to do. And Cameron Crowe, the director, was real cool about it. He pulled me aside and said, "Listen, I'll explain to him what was in the script." And then he came over to me and said, "Listen, do it his way." I said, "Yeah, I get it. I'll do it his way."
Well, so you probably got your confidence shook.
It was, Howard, man. I mean, you're talking about Tom Cruise. Everyone on the set was looking at me like I was an ass.
Yeah, you're upsetting Tom.
And then I did it his way, and he said, "Thank you." Like, that's how he said thank you. It was, "Thank you."
Right.
Real intense.
If you had to kill someone on the show, who would it be?
Myself.
Stop it.
No, what kind of a question is that? Sal the stockbroker.
There you go. By the way, Sal the stockbroker didn't show up today for work.
Yeah.
We gave him the job he was dying for. And so they called me. He goes, "It's Columbus Day. I didn't think we were working."
Oh, jeez.
What?
He didn't think to check that out with anybody.
Wow.
Well, that's why he's Sal the stockbroker. Anything else here? Let's see. Have you ever had a woman toss your salad?
Sorta.
Really?
Sorta. Yeah.
Brave lady.
Sorta.
Not like a big commitment on
Not a full toss?
No.
He's had a woman rifle his pocket.
Yeah, isn't that what that means? Toss my greens?
Has Dana ever commented on you touching other women on the show?
Yes.
Oh, she has.
But not to where it's an argument. She's just like, "Oh, I heard you had fun today," like something like that.
Yeah, I get that too.
Yeah, I'm sure. I mean, you're a little swollen. I mean, look, we obviously date women who are very cool about this stuff.
Yeah, well, it does cause a problem.
Yeah, every once in a while there's definitely a little discussion.
Little tension.
Yeah, it's like, I hear all the shenanigans you're up to.
Yeah, right.
I feel like blowing my mind up.
That's what it sounds like.
I'm a lot better than I used to be.
In terms of?
Like touching people and stuff. And
what do you mean?
Yeah, what do you mean?
You know, like in the old days, I think I was more physical, laying on the floor and...
Oh, no.
You think I'm just as bad?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. I thought I cleaned up my act.
Oh, no. It's gotten a little worse.
You think?
Absolutely.
Get out.
Absolutely.
In what way?
You never touched real flesh when you were married. Never.
Wait a second.
Never.
Didn't I always paint women's breasts when I was married?
Yeah, and you'd wear a glove.
Not always.
Yes, absolutely.
Fred, I'm better, right?
You're definitely better. You know what it is? I think it's just an attitude thing, and I'm siding with you on this.
Oh, please. I just, he's, taking those liberties all he wants.
Really? I thought I was much better. I thought I'd kind of like...
Oh, no.
I thought I'd be more gentleman. I thought I was a gentleman.
Yeah, when you're stripping a woman, you're being a real
I think it's also more difficult because you were married at the time, too, so that line is like, you got to mark it on a curve.
Well, see, you're thinking of the line. I'm simply saying he does more now.
Really?
Yes.
That's sick. That's crazy. When's the last time I beat a woman with a fish?
Oh, that I don't consider that.
Somebody raped me for crying out loud.
Within a year, you've done that.
Oh, that's right. All right, well, you're right.
So hard to where an eye flew out of the salmon.
Yeah.
All right, remember those parts flying all over?
Oh, yeah.
What I used to go in the bathroom with chicks, but we never did anything in there.
You didn't do anything in there, and I'm trying to think, when was that?
No. You know what? Let's change the topic.
Yeah.
I thought you'd be like, yeah, you're much better.
Moving on.
Oh.
I thought I was. Hey, what do I know? What was Vegas like? I heard you were wasted.
I don't think I can go there anymore.
No, I don't either.
What, did you get thrown out?
No, well, I did 2 shows, right? Mm-hmm. On basically no sleep, because I had gone to L.A. and did Mad TV Friday night.
How'd that go?
I went out with, it was fun, actually. I did 2 sketches. It was fun to do them again. There's a lot of the people who worked there 10 years ago are still there. And
wow.
Yeah, like, you know, like hair people, makeup people, really good guys, and it was fun. So we went out drinking after the taping.
Are there any original cast members left?
No, they're all gone.
Right.
Because
then you would look like a loser, right?
Well, it's the 10th year, so a bunch of people are coming back. And
I don't mean coming back. I'm saying if you were there for 10 years, then you're a loser.
I think if you're on a late night sketch show for 10 years, I think, that's the
wrap.
Consensus, I guess.
Why is that? Why can't you be there for 10 years?
I don't know. I mean, I just think that
it's like the rules.
That means you're good enough to keep doing it, because you don't make as much money in late night as you do in prime time. And
well, have they all gone on to prime time?
No.
So why leave? That's my point.
Yeah, well, I guess maybe you're asked to leave.
Okay.
But, so I went out drinking in L.A. Friday night with some old friends, and I didn't get a lot of sleep Friday night. Saturday, a car picked me up at 8. I go right to Vegas. So the plan is, listen to this ridiculous plan I had. I go, I'll land in Vegas around noon. I'll sleep for 4 hours.
You'll never do that.
Right. I'll take a nap in Las Vegas.
Sure you will.
And then I'll be all fresh for the 2 big shows.
Right.
I get to Las Vegas. I check into the room. I try to lay down. I can't lay down. Like, stuff's ringing in my head. Like, there's casino's packed, you know. And I said, I'll get up and maybe I'll just have a little lunch.
Sure.
I get up. I order a cheeseburger to my room. Cheeseburger comes. I eat that. Now I try to lay down again. I can't rest. So I shower. I call some friends who were there. The song parody man was there. And I said, let's go play some blackjack. You know what
That'll
I mean?
help you sleep.
Right.
Bad plan.
Nothing about this was good.
See, I get there. I'm so opposite you. I'd be neurotic. I'd be like, I have to sleep. I have to get ready.
Because you know you have a show coming.
Yeah.
Me too. I was neurotic, but I couldn't sleep because, you know what I mean? Like,
because you had the fever.
Yeah, I did. I got the itch.
Right.
I can't relax there. So now I go down and I start to casually play blackjack. In about a half an hour, I'm down $3,000.
Right. But that doesn't bother you because in your mind, that's just small money.
Well, I mean, actually, it was the best money I've made to do stand-up ever in my life. It was a good amount of cash.
Right.
But I'm thinking, all right, so I'm up money no matter what. So I lose $3,000, and then I go and I try to figure out what the best bet is to put on the Super Bowl.
Right.
So I put $5,000 on the under.
Well, you won that.
Right, I did, which is 47 and a half. And
good.
Right, so I won that money back.
You won that money back and plus 2,000.
Yeah. Well, I won that money back. I was down. So now at this point, but I didn't realize I didn't win till last night. So someone's got that ticket they got to bring back me. So at that point, I was still down $2,000. It could have been $7,000. But at this point, now I'm just rolling. Now it's a frenzy of gambling.
Right.
You're there. You're ready.
Right. So I got complimentary drinks, and now it's
gambling.
The first show's at 8. The second show's at 11. I had a full Jack and Water by 4:10 in the afternoon.
Right.
Then afterwards, I'm with the Reverend Bob Levy, who's a bit of a drinker himself. He had been drinking since noon, apparently. and he's the guy opening for me.
Oh, no.
So everybody's in the casino is coming to see the show. They see us drink, like, we'll see you later. They're drunk, we're drunk. It's a mess.
Right.
So we go up to my room beforehand. I order up some more food, and
by the time the show starts, you're probably exhausted because you're wasted. You could probably fall asleep right then and there.
Tired from not sleeping, hungover from the night before, so it's booze on top of a hangover, like that crazy headache you get, you know. And so we go back up to my room. We order up food.
I like that crazy headache you get. You know. No, I don't know.
No, actually,
Go ahead.
we don't.
Yeah.
So
I've never done this. Yeah.
So now there's pizzas in my room, like a bunch of people who I kind of knew came up to my room, and so my room became like a little pre-party, which I didn't plan on.
Right.
And it's loud, and we're playing music. We ran out of glasses at one point.
You get any chicks up there, or was it?
There were chicks with guys.
Right.
Like there were friends of friends, and these guys brought women that I didn't know.
Right.
And it became like a loud party, like the exact thing you don't want before you have to perform.
Right. There's no way you're focusing.
And he acts as if he's completely, not in control of it.
Right, and I got all these...
He's not.
I got all these...
What makes you think he'd be in control?
I got all these chips in my pocket, and... So now we run out of glasses at some point.
Yeah.
I look over, and Levy took my ice bucket. They give you those glass ice buckets.
Yeah.
And very casually, like this is something people do, put ice in it and made a drink in the ice bucket. So Levy was walking around the room holding an ice bucket with two hands drinking out of it. Straight vodka.
Wow.
Jeez.
So it became like some sort of acid trip or something, walking around. And then, but this place, this gig is called Beecher's Madhouse, and there's midgets running around. So you're like it's like listening to, Cream on acid,
Boy, I had the complete opposite day of you.
So now the first show's at 8. Now it's 2 sold-out shows in that thing, The Joint.
Yeah.
So the goal they want to do is they want to do one show.
Let me ask you, are you happy during all of this?
I'm sort of miserable.
Right.
Inside, I'm a little miserable. Yeah.
Because of the physical sensation of being so out of control?
Because of realizing that I don't have any control of myself as far as, like, if there's gambling and drinking. Like, I couldn't go there and take a effing nap.
Right.
You couldn't be responsible.
Right. That really,
And now you beat yourself up because you're mad at yourself.
Yeah.
All right, go ahead. I'm just trying to understand if there's any fun involved in it.
There's some fun, but you gotta drown yourself with booze to get a little good feeling.
Right.
So so what they're gonna try to do is do one show at the Joint, unload an audience,
Yeah.
all right, in a crowded casino, and then take another one in while everybody's just drinking. So the first show starts, and it went great. It was like, I was loaded, but like there's 2 types of drunk for me. There's drunk and too drunk to perform.
So you feel the first show you did okay?
The first show I did about an hour and 10 minutes. The
because I got an email last night already that the reports were coming in that you were a complete freak.
No.
Well, that could have been the second show.
No, I didn't get to the second show yet.
Oh, okay, go ahead. All right, maybe that's the report I got on the second show.
Yeah,
go ahead.
right.
Yeah.
Well, the first show, they were both like different in the sense that they encourage craziness in the crowd.
Because look at this. Early reports are not good. This is from Gary. Ross Sapan's brother-in-law was at the Late Show. The Late Show.
Yeah.
He said guys were going nuts, throwing chairs, real bedlam. The audience booed all the opening acts until Artie came out, and they cheered, except Artie was so drunk he was repeating jokes 3 times in a row.
Oh, no.
And forgetting where he was in the middle of a joke.
That's not true.
So then they booed him. And then he brought out high-pitched Eric at the end, and the crowd went nuts throwing crap at the stage.
No, wait. Okay, so listen. So, right, the first show goes off without a hitch.
Right, good.
But this is the type of room where you should do one show.
Right.
Okay.
Right.
So... Everybody's, fine with it. The first, I was supposed to do 45 minutes, and it was going well. I did about an hour and 10 minutes.
That's perfect.
Everybody was having fun.
Left everyone happy.
Everybody was having fun.
Right.
Now they have to unload this crazy crowd.
All right.
The other crowd coming, the Joint, the way it is.
Right.
The other crowd coming in, there's a line wrapped around outside. They have to pass each other, go through the casino, get in. It took like 2 hours to do this.
So you're getting drunk backstage.
So in the meantime, we're upstairs pounding away, and now the backstage area has a...
Be honest, at this point, since the time you landed in Vegas, and now you're up to the second show, you've done at least a bottle of Jack Daniels, right?
At this point, I probably drank about a liter of Jack Daniels.
Which is what, a bottle?
Yeah,
one of those bottles.
They sell
big
bottles.
bottle.
They sell a liter.
It's a quart.
Yeah, right.
A liter?
Quart of Jack Daniels.
What, a liter is a quart?
Yes.
How do you know that?
Because I used to be a nurse, and you had to convert those
Is
things.
a liter a quart?
Yes.
Why don't I know that?
I drank a quart of Jack Daniels.
Go ahead, yeah. So...
Whatever it was more than you should drink.
Right. So how many drinks would you say that is?
Oh, God.
Like 15, 20?
Yeah.
Okay, go ahead.
Yeah.
Go ahead. I'm just trying to get in the mood.
Tall glasses.
Because I'm exhausted just hearing
So
it.
now, after you do the first show, you have the sense of accomplishment. Like, all right, I just got one more show. We'll put that on cruise control and everything.
Right.
Now, the backstage becomes like a little party. And who remembers? Eventually, you forget you have to do another show. Like,
right.
Like you're working.
You're just partying.
You never say to yourself, I'm going to stop drinking because I have to go out there again.
Right, and then you say, well, maybe I'll do some gambling, blah, blah, blah. So it got a little crazy. The backstage area was so crowded. And I finally said, what's going on? He said, they're trying to load the other crowd in. They're ornery. They're drunk. They're mad. They had to wait. I'm like, oh, that sounds perfect.
Yeah. Sounds like a great night of comedy.
Just like me.
I said, perfect, guys. Whatever you're doing is perfect.
Yeah, you're pissing off the audience.
So I said, let me go up to my room. I got to get my head straight. So I'm going to call Dana and get my head straight.
Yeah, great.
Which, again.
Lucky her. She gets the call.
Right, on the road, she gets a drunken call from me.
Right.
I wake her up because, of course, I don't realize it's now 4 a.m.
In the morning.
Yeah, right.
Oh, my goodness.
And I'm like, Day. She's like, what? What's the matter? I go, I'm in between shows. I just wanted to call you. She goes, are you drunk? I go, no.
Good, you lie.
Yeah, right.
Oh, my
Because this is usually the time when I propose to her, and I forget the next day that I proposed.
Have you proposed already a couple of times?
Oh, on the road?
Yeah.
About 7 times.
Wow.
Like from Pittsburgh at a Sheridan at like 3 a.m. I call her. I go, and the next morning she goes, so do you remember proposing? And I go, no.
How romantic.
She goes, I go, what did you say?
What do you say?
No, what did she say?
I said, she always turns me down.
Yeah.
Because she doesn't feel I'm into it.
She doesn't feel it's a serious proposal.
Right.
What do you get all lovey-dovey, like, I need you.
Probably drunk. And
I want to spend the rest of my life with you.
Absolutely.
Right.
Stuff like that.
He doesn't even remember what he says.
I say stuff like, I'm in St. Louis. I wish you were in St. Louis. Because I'm in St. Louis.
If I was her, I'd break up with you. I don't even...
Oh, my God.
I mean, who would even put up with this? What's wrong with her that she puts up with
She's
this?
a good girl.
Go ahead. All right. We're not going to critique her.
She's my
Your rock.
She's my rock. Absolutely.
And does she really straighten your head out?
I mean, after I talk to her, I feel better. I do. So I hang up the phone. Now it's like it's been 3 hours since the other crowd's coming in, and there's a security guy they keep in my room to walk me down.
Right.
And I go he's got a walkie-talkie. I go, what's going on down there? He goes, oh, there's a huge fight. Someone had a gun.
Oh, my goodness. And I got to go on stage.
I said, where? In the casino? He goes, no, a guy in like the 3rd row.
Wow. They frisked. How'd they find the gun?
I don't know. I don't even know if he did, but he was yelling he had a gun.
All right.
You probably tried to shoot a guy who took his seat.
Huge fight breaks out.
Right.
And, like, people are throwing stuff and everything. They have to clear the fight. Now, it's been so long, they start the show before the fight is completely, like, cleared.
Oh.
Right.
So the poor kid who has to go out and host has to basically go out to a riot. And they weren't kind to him. Like, you couldn't even say anything.
Because people are tired and drunk and they just want to see you.
Right. So
yeah, why are you fooling around with this host crap?
Host. I like a host.
But then now Levy goes up.
Yeah.
And they were rude to him in the beginning, but Levy is a pro, man. And he was ossified, too.
Right.
All right. And, but his act, he had to get extra filthy. Like, they just want filth.
Yeah.
Right. I don't want filth.
They want like a rape on stage at this point.
Well, this is the late night crowd. Huh?
Right.
Yeah. So Levy's a pro, man. He got him back. He did fine. In the beginning, they were bad, but Levy did good. He did about 20 minutes.
Okay.
So then I go out. By the time I walk out, they're absolutely nuts.
And you're wasted.
And I'm
You're beyond
I must
wasted.
have been more drunk than I thought I was, because the kid producing the show said, he goes, all right, listen, you have to do me a favor. I go, yeah. He goes, you have to pull it together for this. I go, am I that drunk? I said, I don't feel I'm that drunk. He goes, you look drunk. I go, well, I'm lit. I don't feel drunk. You
right.
know?
I've only had a quart of Jack Daniels. I know my limit.
Yeah. You know what? I'm just looking at some emails that people sent me, and Artie's backstage, and they're getting this crowd out, and that's why it's so late. But the rumor going through the crowd was that Artie had passed out backstage.
No.
So that's
I know there's more. I know there's more of it.
I did not pass out.
No, but that's what the crowd thinks now.
Oh, that's good. I don't know who was telling him passing out that flyer.
Yeah, so go ahead.
So I got on stage, and now for some reason, my pants kept falling, like, which I didn't know.
What do you mean for some reason?
I don't know why that was happening. I realized that I went out, my button had somehow got unbuttoned, and the first 5 minutes while I'm going, hey, and they're going, hey, we're just yelling at each other for 5 minutes. They're going, hey, I'm going, hey. My pants kept falling. I had to keep pulling them up like a hip hop guy or something.
I heard that part too. That's right. His pants were falling off.
So I finally buttoned the button. We get into the act. All right. Now I do about 25 minutes. Everything's going fine. Then at some point, the crowd just lost it. I lost them. They lost me.
Right.
It became the most ornery. As I was trying to tell jokes, there was like 3 kids in the front. Like, while you're setting up a joke, this is your nightmare at a club, all right? The kid goes, tell the pig story!
Yeah, do it just the way you did it on the air.
I'm like, people think you can just tell that in stand-up with no setup. Like, I'm like, all right, dude, I can't tell you. He goes, I go, all right. So I go back into the joke. This is when they probably thought I was repeating jokes. Because they can't hear this in the back. By the way, I'd admit to repeating a joke because I've done that several times.
Right. Well, you're pretty wasted.
Yeah. So I start again, and the kid goes, tell the pig story. So I say to the kid, I'll tell the pig story. Once upon a time, I effed your mother.
Right. That's good. I like
end. I said, that's the end of the pig story. So now, like, his friends start laughing. Now I'm doing a little show for just the table here.
Right.
So then the kid gets pissed off that I made fun of him.
Right.
Okay, like, God forbid. He's ruining...
You're ruining his reputation in Vegas.
So now I go back into it again.
It's like Goodfellas.
And now the new kid, the new thing the kid yells out that he thinks is going to make me mad is, after, during each joke, he goes, Yankees suck! He was from Boston.
Right.
So I go, excuse me, sir, what do you have to say? And I gave him the microphone. He just went, Yankees suck! And I thought maybe people would boo that. Apparently, everyone hates the Yankees.
Yeah, so there was a loud cheer.
There was a loud cheer.
Apparently.
So now, in the time I was dealing with him, forget about it. Lost the crowd. Craziness.
Right.
Like, in the balcony, there's, like, people throwing chairs, I heard.
Oh, my goodness.
People are yelling and screaming. It's the most ornery thing. So I had already done a half an hour, thank God. I had about another, because contractually, you got to do like 45 minutes.
Yeah.
So now, the last 15 minutes became like, who wants the Eagles? And like, who wants the Patriots? Like going over bets and stuff like that. And then at the end, I sang like an Elvis song. I said, we're in Vegas, let's sing Elvis. And while I'm singing the Elvis song, people are throwing.
Had you ever sung before on stage?
No. I was flowing with it.
Right.
You just felt it. You thought you'd do it.
So
and then I look over and I see High Pitch Eric.
Oh.
He's like, bring me out.
Yes.
So at this point, I don't care. I go, ladies and gentlemen, High Pitch Eric. He comes out. They go crazy. It takes him exactly 10 seconds to lose the crowd.
Right.
It was about 10 seconds.
And they start throwing things.
Because all he starts doing is going, who's High Pitch? And they like that. But then he starts doing that bit where he does impressions. Like, Robert De Niro. And they go, boo. Then I get the mic and I go, hey, guys. I go, boo. So then I just introduced everybody. And I ended up doing, at the time killing, about another hour, the late show, in front of this. It essentially became like a riot, almost.
When did you get back?
So I got off stage. It probably was about 2:30 in the morning. We went up to my room again. Now, my room became like Party Central. There was 80 people up there.
Did you ever sleep?
No, I did. There was 80 people in my room. So Dan, the song party man, this other guy, Rob, had guitars. And we sang drunkenly with our...
But didn't you want to go to sleep? Like, doesn't your body give in?
Yeah. But I'm saying I'll sleep on a plane.
Right.
So I had a 7 a.m.
And who are you saying that to, yourself?
Yeah.
Right.
I'm having a conversation with myself. So I had a 7 a.m. flight, and the car was coming to pick me up at 5:30 in the morning. We get up to my room about 2:30 in the morning. And we start drinking again. We're singing, you know how in those rooms at the Hard Rock, the doors open and they're like, you go out to the pool? Those doors are open. So if anyone's trying to sleep, they couldn't, because we were singing Cream at the top of our lungs. Like they were playing guitar and I'm like out of the back going, in a wet room.
and you have energy.
Just wasted energy.
Wow.
Yeah.
You don't understand that.
Before I know it, 5:30 in the morning comes around. They take me downstairs.
Jeez,
And I get in that car, man, and I'll tell you what, it hit me at the airport. I said, I don't think I'm going to make it through this plane ride.
Right.
I'm going to lose it at some point. I was tired.
Yeah.
Thank God I had a first-class ticket. I was hungover. I get on the plane, and I just said to the stewardess, I said, you have to give me anything I can consume right now. Water, an omelet. What do you have? Like cereal? They go, we'll be serving an omelet later. So I go, can you get it to me early? They go, we haven't taken off yet. No,
She doesn't understand.
He said we haven't left the gate, and I'm asking for an omelet.
This is an emergency.
And meanwhile, you probably smell to high heaven.
I had the same pants on I was on stage with a few hours ago.
And you probably smell like alcohol.
I threw stuff in my bag. I must have forgot stuff in the room. I did. I forgot a Yankee sweatshirt in my room. If anyone's listening to the Hard Rock, it's a great Yankee sweatshirt.
They thank you for it.
Yeah, and so the plane ride, I was starting to freak a little bit.
Right.
And I said to the woman, I said to the store, I said, do you have any sort of sedative or something?
Oh, my God.
I felt like, I'll tell you what, you know the Ramones song, like, put me in a wheelchair, get me to a plane?
Right.
I needed to be sedated. Like, I felt like I needed to be sedated.
Right.
So, and I put my...
Were you feeling sick? Was your stomach upset?
I felt like I was going to throw up.
Right.
I put my feet up. And now I'm like, okay, the movie starts. And the movie is Sky Captain and the World Tomorrow.
No.
Well, it's perfect to sleep through.
With Jude Law and Gwyneth Paltrow.
Worst movie ever.
First of all, by this time I was Jude Law'd out because the going to L.A., the movie was Alfie, which was the gayest movie I've ever seen in my life.
Oh, my God.
And so I had a Jude Law weekend. It was bookend by Jude Law.
Poor you.
Yeah, and I tried to get into Sky Captain World. I said, this will calm me down.
Right.
It didn't. It made me angrier. I just couldn't get into it. I'm like, what's going on? They're in a blimp. They're fighting people.
It's horrible.
Yeah. Did you see it?
Yeah.
It was like nothing worked.
Nothing.
You know?
It was horrible.
So finally the omelets came out, and I ate an omelet with my hands.
Why aren't you asleep yet?
I couldn't sleep on the plane. I was freaked out.
He couldn't sleep because he's waiting for the omelet.
Right.
Yeah, Howard, I was freaking out a little bit. Like,
But-
I was starting to go, listen, we might have to make a medical landing in Missouri.
What were you feeling?
Just anxiety.
Right.
Like, it all hit me to where... Now, I didn't know I won the under bet yet. So at this point, I was down about $3,500. They gave me a check when I left, which was great. It was a good amount of money, but
Were you able to hold on to the check? Do you still have it?
I have it, yeah. I got that.
That you got.
I got that home.
Right.
And about halfway through the flight, I remembered I had Tylenol, like cold, extra strength.
Good.
And I had about 6 of them.
Yeah, that'll knock you out.
I just started like...
It's like harpooning a whale with that.
You know what I did? I poured 6 Tylenol cold tablets on, like, because that's all that was left, on, like, the little console. There's a
Right.
guy, like...
Oh, no.
Guy politely trying to eat his fruit plate. Next to me, I'm pouring pills. It must look like I had lose or something.
Why were you doing that? Why didn't you just take it?
Because I couldn't organize myself. Like, my motor functions weren't like...
Did you not swallow a pill?
I couldn't get my hand in the thing and get it out. Like, I had to pour them out and separate them.
I see.
I was freaking out.
Okay.
So I calmly asked for some water. The stewardess gave me water, and I just took each Tylenol one by one.
Okay, good.
Then I sat there, and then they had an oatmeal raisin cookie that I devoured.
Right.
And had some coffee. By the 3rd hour of the flight, I was feeling a little relaxed, and then I just got up and paced a little bit, and then finally we landed. It was 4 hours and 10 minutes.
Wow.
And I got back to Newark. I got in the car, and I went home, and thank God that my mother had come over to my house, and she had broccoli rabe and sausage and peppers. She made the most amazing meal, and I finally sat down, and I finally relaxed after I ate. I ate with her and my sister, and I made a big sandwich.
What time was this? Sunday night?
This was Sunday afternoon. I landed at 3 o'clock.
Oh.
So they're there, you eat dinner.
I walked into
And you have to watch the Super Bowl.
Right. So now they leave. I'm like nodding out while I'm eating the broccoli rabe. My mom's like, you should really go to sleep.
Right.
I try to nap, but now I got a huge bet on the Super Bowl. I have $5,000 on the under. And I just remembered that I had all this money on the under. So I'm like, I have to watch the game. And I've never blown off a Super Bowl before. But
right.
And I took a shower, laid in bed, and with one eye open, watched the Super Bowl.
Man.
Right. Which was a great game. Now, the under-over was 47.5. It ended at 45 points.
Right.
Wow.
So it became iffy.
Close, yeah.
And I was a field goal away. Like, if the Eagles on that last drive, which, by the way, what were they doing?
That was
like,
the worst clock management in the history of any game.
But if they had come down and scored a field goal, I would have lost.
Right.
And so I was freaking out at the end. But I won the over-under. And as soon as the last second ticked off, I shut the TV and fell asleep.
But that was 10:20 last night, so you hadn't slept for 3 days.
I basically...
How do you do it?
Yeah, I was going to say from Friday to
I
Sunday.
basically, from the time I left here Thursday afternoon...
and you were sick all week.
I probably slept for about 4 hours in 4 days.
And your throat doesn't get sore and your body doesn't break down?
I don't know. I just had the ability to, like, you know, like
keep going.
Some sort of energy.
That's why I don't believe the sick call last Monday.
Yeah, oh my God, that was the other thing. Like that was the other thing. Walking out the crowd goes, "Why did you call in sick?"
Oh man.
Anyway, it was the people at the Hard Rock treated me great.
Yeah, I don't get it.
Because
like,
I get to live vicariously like you a little bit. When I go there and you're not there, they're very nice. They're so cool to the show. They love everybody here. And Hard
you know what's
Rock
amazing to me?
Cool place.
The difference in our lives. I turned off the Super Bowl with 2 minutes left.
Oh, you're kidding.
Because I was laying there and I went, you know what? I just can't. I'm tired. I'll tape it. I got the TiVo going. I'll go to sleep. I'll wake up and I know what's going to happen. Philly's going to score here. They're going to run out of time.
Right.
And that's going to be it.
Yeah.
Possibly New England will come back and even kick another field goal. Sure enough, that's what happened. But I wake
Not
up
in the last 2 minutes. You obviously turned it off before.
Yeah, so they scored. Philly scored.
Philly made it close.
And that was it.
You know,
And I went,
that was it.
but I had to go to sleep. I just went, you know what? I got to wake up tomorrow. It's already 10 o'clock. It's it. It's over.
Right.
I can't
So
believe...
you didn't watch like much of the last
No.
quarter.
And I slept for an hour and a half during the afternoon. And I slept all night before.
So you had like 10 zillion hours of sleep.
I had so much sleep. And my weekend was, my daughter was in. We watched Shall We Dance with Richard Gere and J-Load. And meanwhile, we liked it.
Right.
Because it was great to watch with a 12-year-old.
I guess so. I was
She
going to
loved
say
it.
you would have never watched that by yourself.
I don't know.
I
like that stuff.
I was saying to the guys out there that I can't believe Artie and I are from the same species.
I know.
While he's finishing off the last leader on Saturday night, my kids and I are in bed watching Shark Tale.
I know.
Well, I mean,
that's the
you
thing.
guys have a family. That's nice. I'm in Vegas doing stand-up. It's like, you know.
Yesterday, Beth made dinner, turkey burgers and baked potato.
That's great.
And we watched Ray.
Isn't that a great
Was that
movie?
good?
Wow, oh, my God.
Really good,
You know
huh?
what they're talking about now.
Yeah, it was great. Jamie Foxx was great. It really just brought me to tears. It was really a beautiful performance. And, I mean, I knew very little about the life of Ray.
Well, that's why I was telling you, Ray Charles was an incredible man.
Yeah.
Well,
really sad.
I heard they really show all the scars about him, too, like the bad side
Yeah,
as well.
he's not a
Right.
hero.
Well,
He's a flawed person, but a great guy.
I got the feeling that they left out a lot of crap, too, because supposedly he had like 12 kids when he died.
Well, that's what I was going to say. You only see the 4 that I guess his wife had,
Yeah.
and that one that they referred to, but there were 12.
You get the vibe they cleaned him up a little bit.
Oh, really?
And
know
he
what I mean?
still looks bad.
But, yeah, like he still comes off bad.
Well, I hate biographies that are like a biography about Babe Ruth they used to make where he's just this jolly guy who never had a beer. He just hit a bunch of home runs.
I don't like to drink.
Yeah.
Or smoke.
That's why I'm dying at 47.
And there's a guy on the phone says a quart is not a liter.
Get out of here.
Brian.
Morning, Howard. Hey, how you doing?
Hey.
I'm with you as far as, man, if you do that to your body, I'm surprised that Artie's yet, and I don't know, he can function on a day-to-day
Why is it? What is
We've reported this phone line.
It's a
Every
different
week.
phone line.
It is? It's a different line?
I mean, the guys. This is a radio
This
station.
is line 17?
No, this is line 15.
This is a radio.
Is it our phones or is it his?
I think it's our phone, but one of the lines is our phone.
I don't know. But,
I've never heard this on any other phone but here.
Will,
And it's
Will would
consistent.
know.
What is it, Will? Listen to this.
It
Sounds like a whale farting.
There's line 15.
It's really bizarre. I've been
20,
doing it ever since I've been
line
home.
24. and
Wait.
line
I
7.
can't hear you because this cat's talking.
There's
What?
4 lines that are screwed up, and they're not consistently screwed up, so sometimes they come in and out.
So why don't they take them off
I've
the
told
board?
them every day, and they supposedly fix it. And
All right, Richie Herbie, you're the chief engineer. Listen to me. Line 15. Do it again, Will. Line 17.
line 24 and line 20.
Disconnect them, dude. We're telling you, it ain't right.
Will's all hungover because he decided he had to go to Philadelphia to watch the game. He couldn't watch it in New York, so he must have gotten home at 1 or 2 in the morning.
All right, dude, so what are you saying?
A liter is closer to a gallon. I thought.
You're saying a quart is not a liter?
Yeah, no, a quart is 1/4 of a gallon, and a liter is 3.28.
33
liters.
No, hey, I'm looking at Robin's bottle. A liter is 33.8 fluid ounces, 1 quart.
So a liter and a quart. A liter's 33, a quart is 32.
Yeah.
It's a quart. That's what Artie drank. Okay.
Is it?
Yeah.
Okay, thank you.
I think that's sort of low.
No, Robin is right.
Okay, touche. I stand corrected.
Okay, bye.
Have a good morning.
Double A's still in Vegas with High Pitch Eric, and they're drunk.
Yeah. Uh-oh.
Double A.
Hey, Howard, how are you?
Oh, they fooled me.
Yeah, Double A passed out. He's drunk as hell.
Yeah.
How does Double A have this lifestyle where Eric, does Double A say to you, like, how are you in Vegas?
Because Irish John bought us tickets to see the show in Vegas.
What?
But how'd you get? Who paid for your flight to get there, Eric?
Our friend John bought us tickets.
Plane tickets?
Yeah, plane tickets in the hotel.
Who's that, John?
Irish John. He's a good guy. He's a big fan of
Where does Irish John get all this money?
I guess he has a good job, Irish John. I don't know.
So Double A just passed out. He just came back from a club. I didn't go out because I drank for the Super Bowl, and they had a party at Hard Rock. So we were arriving to a party. I got drunk. I didn't go out. I slept all night. The Double A just passed out, and Artie said I did a terrific job on stage. He didn't have to chase me on stage for the mic.
No, yeah. The other thing about High Pitch Eric, Howard, he was backstage the whole time. He constantly eats.
Right.
It's a constant.
Well, he's so fat.
It's all free food. You know that thing in sales where people go always be closing, ABC? He's always be eating.
Well, you know what's weird with him? When you're that fat, you're constantly thinking that you're not getting enough food, because I was heavy, and like you always think, oh, I've got to eat, I'm going to be hungry.
Yeah. He just picked up a calzone.
I think you're giving him too much credit. I think there's nothing else going on, so he eats.
Does he talk to you, like, whenever we've been out like this, he just walks up to you inappropriately with non sequiturs? Like, you'll be in the middle of a big conversation, and he'll be like, did you hear my Robert De Niro?
Right.
You'll be like, go away, but he does that all
It's
night.
annoying.
You know,
I wasn't that bad to you.
I gotta take a break.
No, Eric, you did great, man. You were just eating a lot backstage.
That food was good.
Yeah, I know. It looked like it.
I'm way behind. I got to take a break.
For the record, the early show, Shuley did do 5 minutes, and he did great.
Oh, good. Okay.
You know, he did the early show, thank God, but he killed. Shuley's a really good comedian, and we gave him 5 minutes on the early shows.
All right, Artie, you sound like you had a great weekend. Congratulations.
I'm glad you survived.
It's good to be back, put it that way.
Shuley has stories. He's on the phone, but I got to take a break, unfortunately.
Can I leave you with a question for when we come back? Do you sit here and listen to Artie's story and feel jealousy or feel happy that that's not your life?
I feel happy it's not my life.
See, I can't decide.
At this point.
No, that would wreck me.
Sounds like a lot of fun, though, doesn't it?
No.
For a little while.
Honestly,
Doesn't sound like any fun.
doesn't sound like fun to me. I just know when I have like a couple of drinks, I feel good. Like 2 drinks, 3 drinks, maybe. He's into the bottomless pit of life. I mean, he's drinking like a whole quart of Jack Daniels, which is like rotting his gut.
Yeah.
And and like the headache
no
and
sleeping. I mean, never doing anything for himself.
And the gambling is not even fun because it's out of control gambling, and you never win enough and you never lose enough. It's like it doesn't sound like fun to me. It sounds like a big headache.
But doesn't it sound interesting once in a while to just give up control?
No, to me, the perfect weekend is like a room full of chicks. That would be my drug of choice. Like if
you wouldn't need to be drunk.
Hell no. I would just want to bang all weekend. That I might be jealous of. But he doesn't even get laid.
Well, there's no girls
I have
around.
a girlfriend, I'm in love with.
You're in Vegas.
Okay, is that the rule?
No, I'm just saying, like, if you were, like, I might be envious if you were in a room with a couple of chicks.
Look, I totally get it. I don't expect you to be envious.
I mean, I don't, because Gary asked me if I would be envious. But
I'll say there's a half an hour where it is fun.
Right.
But then after that, in the plane ride, it's not worth it.
All right, we got to take a break.
The plane ride was a living hell.
We'll be back right after these words. Hey now! Hey now! Come on! Hey now! Hey now! Hey now! Love that. Hey now! Hey now! Hey now! All right, I got Artie on the phone. Artie isn't with us today because Artie played a gig in Vegas, and then Monday morning was supposed to be in L.A. because he has a full day of meetings about that movie they want him for.
Right, yeah, he said he had some business to take care of in L.A.
So Gary called his hotel in L.A. They never even heard of Artie. They don't know where. They said he never checked in, so we tracked him down in Vegas. He hasn't been to sleep yet. He goes, This was the greatest weekend of my life. I couldn't go to sleep, so he's on his way now to L.A.
Oh, my goodness. So a drunk
Hasn't
and
been to sleep.
tired Artie is going to be in meetings all day?
Hey, Artie.
What's up, guys?
Uh-oh. Listen to the guy who's going to be in meetings.
I love that he's going from, I said, I only wish I could be as loose as Artie. I have the inner voice of Ray and Ben Stern telling me I need to get rest.
Yeah.
You don't care. You haven't been to sleep yet.
Howard, first of all, I just had the greatest weekend of my life.
All right, go ahead. First of all, did you bet the over?
I bet the over.
5 G's?
I bet $4,000 on the over.
Now, how much, was that a straight up bet or what's the odds on that?
No, when you bet the over, you just, you win what you bet.
Right, okay. $4,000.
So I won $4,000 on that. The coin toss, I watched the game with Sam Simon.
Right.
The coin toss, Sam said, I'll take the action from you.
Okay.
So I put $500 up with Sam on the table as the coin toss happened. I took the Panthers. I won.
Yeah.
So that's how the game started. I took $500 off Sam.
By the way, you won $200 off me in the lingerie bowl.
You know what, Howard? I just found that out right now.
Yeah.
I didn't know about the lingerie bowl. I completely forgot they were playing it.
I watched
Even
it.
without that, he had a great weekend.
Hey, did anybody bet that whether Janet Jackson's boob would pop out?
What were the odds on that?
Yeah, they didn't have odds on Janet Jackson's boobs in Vegas.
All right, so right away you're up 500.
I'm up 500, yeah.
Then what happens?
So then I went down on the sports. Well, first of all, I saw Bowie Friday night.
How was that?
Howard, unbelievable.
Now, did he do the good songs or that new crap?
Howard, he did all his great stuff. Me and Richie was out here, and me and Richie, you talked to Richie about it. It was unbelievable. He did all the young dudes. He did Heroes.
Wow.
That's what I had heard, that he was doing all the good stuff.
Oh, he did Rebel. He did Suffragette City.
I never get to go to the good stuff.
And Howard, it was in a theater with 1,200 seats.
Oh.
He played the same room I played.
Wow. Shows you how show business is turned upside down.
Exactly.
No
Artie
kidding.
and Bowie in the same place?
Right.
Wow.
So Friday night for Bowie.
Did he do Suffragette City?
Yeah, he just
He did Suffragette City, yeah.
Did he do Hold On to Yourself? Whatever the hell that is.
What is that?
He didn't do Starman. There's a starman waiting in the...
Dude, that's a little obscure.
No,
he
it's
just
not.
did like the hits.
That's a hit.
He did, what else did he do? He did, I'm Afraid of Americans.
Oh, I love that.
I'm afraid of
And he had that kick-ass band with that black chick bass player?
Yeah.
Yeah, nice.
Oh, he was amazing. Bowie was amazing. So that was
I'll tell you who's amazing is that black chick bass player. I would bang her so hard that literally, I would bang her hair straight.
You know what's
her
funny
afro
about
would
that?
go. Her afro would go straight.
You know what's funny about the black chick bass player? He did Under Pressure, the song he did with Queen.
Yeah.
He did that, and the chick did Freddie Mercury's part.
That's appropriate.
Wow. No kidding.
Yeah, and she sounded amazing.
So how long were you there? So, you got right off the plane, freshened
I
up.
got right off the plane, just got ready, started gambling. I went down. Okay, so I played craps first.
What a weekend you had.
I won money at craps.
Really?
What'd you win?
I'm up about $2,000 at the tables.
Wow. Oh, I wish I was with you.
See, you know what? He could be making this up. It's because we couldn't see him.
Can't believe it. Yeah, he's like Dominic. He leaves the table for a while, and then he makes money, That's too much.
I mean, it's the greatest weekend of my life.
All right, go ahead. So anyway, you get off the plane, you play craps, then you go to the Bowie concert.
Right.
And you're eating and drinking the whole time, right?
The whole time.
All right, go ahead.
At the Bowie concert, I had, the straw with the JD and water.
JD and water through a straw.
Yeah.
So how many bottles did you go through that night? Like 2?
Well, first of all, the Hard Rock Casino out here treated me beautifully because of you. Thank you. And I get into my room. There's 10 bottles of JD.
Oh, no, they're going to kill you.
Yeah.
Hey, did you have that bowling alley room?
Huh?
Did you have the bowling alley room, or did
No, they
Bowie
didn't
get
give me the
that?
bowling alley room. Some high roller had it.
Oh, okay. All right, no big deal.
Believe me, when you get here, you find out, even though you sell out a show, you're not Howard Stern.
Well, not only that, You're not going to spend your time bowling anyway.
I was going to say, what? The high roller comes there to bowl?
Yeah, let's go to my room and bowl. So you go downstairs, you play the craps, you see Bowie. Do you even go to sleep Friday night?
I went to sleep at like 9 a.m.
9 a.m. Saturday morning.
Because after Bowie, you gambled, right?
Right, yeah. I went down to the tables. I was playing craps, drunk off my ass, just throwing the dice, and I had money on the pass line, betting on myself, and I was kicking ass. I was winning.
What do you mean? All you bet was the pass line?
That's all I bet was the pass line. I bet anything else.
You're telling me you just bet whether or not you'd get like a 7 or an 11?
Yeah, I bet on me.
So, like, how much money did you put down on a roll?
200.
And you didn't take any numbers?
No.
Are you crazy?
Howard, I was too drunk to take numbers. I don't know what the hell I was doing.
He didn't remember numbers.
So when another guy rolled, you just put money down on the pass line?
Yeah, and then you know what? Richie had an amazing... Richie rolled for like 15 minutes.
Wow.
And I was just betting the pass line the entire time.
Every time I'm with that bum, he doesn't roll for a minute. Now he rolls for 15 minutes when I'm not there. Good for him.
How come he's only up 2,000?
How come? Well, because he bet the pass line. Guy rolls for 15 minutes.
No, I should have been up way more. But I lost money back. I'm up $2,000 for the whole week.
For the whole weekend.
All right, wait a second. Hey, Shuli.
Hey, Howard, I was at the craps table with Artie Friday night. He was on a major roll. He was winning like crazy. He was drunk out of his mind, but he was winning like crazy.
Yeah. Right.
He was screaming, "Give me a hard 8, hard 8." The whole night, screaming like a mental
But he wasn't even betting the hard 8.
Yeah. Even though I didn't have a hard 8, I just kept yelling out, "Give me a hard 8."
He didn't even know.
Something.
He didn't even bet the hard 8. Why do you need a hard 8? You want the...
It just seemed appropriate.
Yeah, he just wanted to yell. It was great.
What happens when you put money on the pass line? That you, like, if you just roll a 7 or 11?
Well, yeah, no, you're betting with the roller. So if you win the roll, you win money. But you bet the odds too.
Yeah, there was a guy that rolled for like a half hour. Artie was just winning off of.
Oh, so you bet numbers?
No. You know how when you bet the pass line, then you back it up with the odds.
Yeah.
That's what I was doing.
Oh, so you took one number?
Yeah. So I won a good amount of money. That's what put me up for the whole weekend.
All right, okay. He would have won a fortune, in other words.
Right, he had a fortune. He lost most of it back.
Yeah, I'm trying to understand. I'm trying to understand what he did, because to bet one number is insanity. I think if the guy's rolling along. All right. So you did that, and you went to bed at 9 a.m.
Right.
What time is your show?
The show?
Parsippany Saturday.
Yeah.
Were you there? At the Chiller Expo?
In Parsippany?
Yes.
It's where it's a horror fan convention, right?
That's exactly. We've been going all around all these kind of crazy things.
I want to say a couple of things. First of all, he was the most popular guest there. You had to wait in line 2 hours to get to see him.
Well, who else
I was
there?
with Thomas Jane, my brother-in-law, who plays the Punisher.
Right. Yeah.
At 61, he was Mickey Mantle on 61. He's with me on this wing of the tour.
And
who any hot chicks there?
A lot of them. But first of all,
mostly geeks go to that, right?
Well, some, but there are a lot of good-looking girls there. But I want to say one thing about David.
What?
He was nice enough to give autographs and pose for pictures for free, which was unlike most of the other guests there.
Well, that's what I was going to ask. Is he selling his photographs?
Give me an example of a celebrity that sells their autograph at the Chiller convention.
Well, we had Robert Beltran of Star Trek Voyager.
I never even heard of him. How much did he charge?
He was the doctor.
Was, Commander Chakotay on
Well,
Voyager.
you know what they do? They sell the pictures, and then they'll sign
We
them for them.
had Michael Biehn of Terminator.
How much did he charge?
He charged me $20 to autograph my DVD of the Terminator and take his photo.
Wow.
That's horrible.
Eric Roberts. Julia
What was
Roberts,
he in? No.
Julia Roberts' brother.
Margot Kidder.
What did she charge? She's running around in people's backyards.
Margot Kidder let me take her picture for free.
All right.
I can get an autograph, though.
Of course.
You're going to
Billy
probably
West
fuck
was
her
there.
for free.
You don't know that.
You had Billy West.
Billy was there?
Yeah. Soupy Sales.
Soupy?
Oh, he looked bad. He was very feeble. He can barely talk.
All right. Well, anyway, David, look.
Thanks, man.
The movie is called The Tripper.
Yeah.
I wish you luck with this. You're always
Thanks
up
a
to
lot.
exciting things. You're a creative guy. You're a bright guy. I trust you when you
Thank
say
you.
the movie's good.
Hey, you know what? We can't get a theater in New York City.
You're
what about
kidding.
that? Yeah, call the Sunshine Theater and tell them to put this film up.
Why don't they do
For
this?
God's
There's
sake.
enough theaters around.
I know.
Every piece of shit movie is out
I
now.
know.
They
Yeah.
should put something in there.
Yeah, I'm telling you. There's.
So you can't see it in New York this weekend?
We don't have a theater as of now.
Wow.
And it's ridiculous.
Well, I think the people who own Sirius own AMC theaters. I'm going to
Really?
contact them today.
Oh, that's great. Thank you,
I'm
Howard.
gonna
I'd
find out
appreciate
about
that.
that.
And then we were at the Senator Theater in Baltimore,
Yeah, I know
Maryland
the
yesterday.
Senator.
Then, Baltimore's going to take us. Why not New York City?
Sure, absolutely. That's a big market for you.
Yeah.
All right, listen, good luck with the film. You're working hard.
Thank you.
Hey, David.
Yeah.
That's never easy for you, man. You never take it easy.
I always come out sweating, like I just beat up or something.
You mentioned the whirlwind, or the whirlpool effect that they have going on.
That's right. They did. Yeah, I got that down. A couple times I tried to turn it back.
You did?
I did. I kind of did.
You think Courtney will react okay? You fended off all those rumors.
Courtney's always, she's chill about stuff like that.
But it was rough. You tried to revisit the whole Brad and Jennifer thing.
He tried. I didn't go there. Hopefully there's no sound bites. You were talking to me last time about that.
Well,
You're
you
like,
got
you know
into
that-
you got into all the tabloids.
Yeah, exactly. You warned me though.
I did.
I think on the way out you were like, it's probably gonna be all over the place. I was like, really? You think? That was the first thought of it. Jackie Mason in the house.
Were you surprised by the picture?
Mr. Mason, sir.
Yes.
Hello. My name's David Arquette. Nice to meet you.
Why not?
Big fan of yours.
Are you a comedian?
Not really.
What do you
Not like you. I mean, I'm not the real kind of. I'm an actor.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah.
So how did you get successful enough to wind up on that?
I married a very famous woman. Thanks. See you later.
Governor of Sirius, and I'm here today to talk with Howard. He wants to express his appreciation for Sirius because it allowed his career to be reinvented. And I want to express my appreciation to Howard for taking my dream and making it bigger and better than I could have ever imagined.
So Howard, there's sort of like a mutual admiration going on today.
Total mutual admiration, synergistic. It's two people who have been pioneers in their own area. Howard pioneered talk radio, pioneered mass intimacy. I pioneered satellite technology and allowed satellite technology to reach people in cars. Together, we're a dynamo.
He's got a ton of questions for you. He's been talking about it all week, so.
I'm happy to answer all the questions Howard has. I'm a huge Howard Stern fan, so to me it's an amazing thrill to be able to sit on the couch and talk with Howard and Robin live.
Oh, this is pretty fascinating. I was in the halls one day, and I ran into the guy who actually invented satellite radio, and then I wasn't even sure what was going on because he was wearing a dress, and then I found out he's now a woman.
He wasn't in a dress.
Yeah, he was. Sure he was. I was there. What are you talking about?
I saw him that same day.
It was a long skirt. You didn't know what you talked. That's Martine right there. Martine, the first time I met you, weren't you wearing a long skirt, like a skirt?
No.
Robin's right.
Didn't have a beard either.
I didn't say you had a beard.
Robin said, I saw his beard, and it's like, come feel me, Robin.
All right. So I was wrong about the beard. You were wrong about the skirt.
And I don't even know. Do you have titties or not?
Yeah.
Oh, you do?
Yep.
Oh,
There
okay.
they are.
Here's a gift for you, Howard.
Thank you, Martine. Martine's a super intelligent person who invented satellite radio, and I kind of had this fascinating discussion and invited her to come in.
She's sticking out her tits.
How big are your tits? But I mean, you're married though, right? But you're married to a woman.
Yes, 25 years.
You were when
Is
you were
this the same woman you've always been married to?
Always been married to.
Let me understand something. So you were a
She's
dude.
right out there.
You were a dude. You married a woman. Then you say to her, "Hey, I want to be a woman," and she stays with you.
Yes.
And now what goes on in the bedroom?
A lot of fun.
You sleep in the same bed?
Of course.
Never.
Can't even fit a feather between us.
Really?
You got the vagina, right?
Yeah.
Has a guy ever put it in?
No.
Never?
No.
You don't want it?
No.
You don't want some guy to put his penis in your vagina?
No.
You became a lesbian.
I look at myself as a Bina-sexual. My partner's name is Bina. I love her before. I love her during. I love her now. I love her forever.
She's not frustrated?
No, she's very happy.
Wow, that's complicated stuff, man. But you are a genius.
Did you know that your marriage would survive this?
Yes.
You did?
Wow. That's pretty amazing.
That is amazing.
She's got to be a little horny, though.
She's sweet. She's a wonderful person.
How often do you have sex? I don't get it.
I don't know if your listeners want to know all that.
I want to know.
Forget that.
I'll drag her in here later. I'll get all the answers. So this is a great story. How did you come to invent? First of all, were you like a super genius kid?
No, just a regular person, Howard. I mean, so many ways. I think actually you and I are similar. You just thought outside the box. You saw where the trends were going. I saw that satellite dishes were going to get smaller and smaller and smaller until they could be flat and fit on top of a car.
But
I mean, what kind of grades did you get in school? Were you like into the sciences and all that?
I got good grades in school.
Okay.
What were your SATs?
I aimed to get grades in school that were like ASS.
What's that?
Ass.
Exactly. You get a grade for academics and a grade for work habits and cooperation. So I had bad work habits and horrible cooperation, but I got good grades.
What were your SATs? Were they off the charts?
They were good. They were good.
I'm just trying to establish what kind of genius you were.
I think they were like good enough to get into UCLA.
Like what, 1,300?
Yeah, something like that.
So you weren't super genius. You weren't like a 1,600. Did you ever have an IQ test?
No.
You don't even know what your IQ is?
I have no idea.
No idea. So you're an inventor. You said, hey, I think what I could do is invent small satellites. What did you...
Small satellite dishes. Small satellite dishes that would be so small they could fit on the top of a car.
So how come there's an...
Wow.
You started Sirius Radio. Sirius was the first one, right?
Yes, Sirius was the first one and created the whole satellite service.
And how old were you when you created Sirius? How many years ago?
35.
You were 35, so that's...
Had you invented other things before that?
Yes. Invented tracking trucks by satellite, invented small satellite dishes for other countries on top of hotels.
Are you a multimillionaire?
Yes.
Oh, you are? And did you become a millionaire from satellite or before that?
Satellite.
From satellite.
Yeah, I started off with nothing.
And how did you get it all together? Give us the story, if you will. You had this dream.
Who were you working for?
The dream actually started with going to satellite conferences where there were a bunch of engineers and saying to them, I have a better idea, I have a different idea, why don't you try to do this?
Okay.
And they would all say that's impossible, that's stupid, satellite dishes are as big as garages, you can't put them on a car.
Okay.
And I said, yes you can, here's how you can do it. And they said, you're stupid, you're an idiot, go somewhere else. And I heard that like 1,000 times.
Were you dressed as a man or as a woman?
As a man.
As a man,
Just
okay.
like I was a tough-talking satellite engineer.
Okay.
Finally, I found a guy, Italian guy, Rene Anselmo, up here in New York, who had a network called Spanish International Network, SIN.
Okay.
And he had been spurned by Intelsat, the big satellite monopoly. They wouldn't carry his service. And I said, Rene, fuck these big satellite companies. You can launch your own satellites and you can spread Spanish music throughout North America. He said, well, all the bankers say that the Mexicans have no money to pay for satellite. I said, they'll pay. They'll want to hear it. They'll pay anything to hear their own content.
Right.
So Rene backed my first company, PanAmSat, and that company eventually went public.
How much money did he have to put up to back your idea?
About $50 million.
And that's
that's a lot of money.
Well, back in the 80s, that was a lot of money.
Yeah. Sure. And the fact that he believed in you is amazing. And you started, did you call it Sirius Satellite right away?
The first company was called PanAmSat. So that service was called PanAmSat from the beginning and eventually was bought by Hughes for several $1 billion.
Somebody was trying to explain this to me earlier. Your idea also was that the idea was if there's a satellite up in the sky, if you're driving around in your car, it wouldn't work. So you figured out how to put a pattern, like a figure eight of satellites up in the sky. 3 satellites doing a figure eight. And that made it so you could cover the...
So you could come down over the trees and over the buildings and stuff like that that would otherwise
that's
block
why
your...
that happened.
How'd you figure that out?
It's just constantly thinking about satellites and loving. I love satellites. I love space.
Do you dream about this stuff, or does it come to you at night?
I dream about space. My favorite, documentary was Cosmos by Carl Sagan. He was one of my heroes, and I just dream all the time about we on Earth are just a tiny speck of dust in the giant cosmos, and I love it.
So they put up $50 million. What does he get? 50% of the company, and you get 50% of the company?
He got more like 90%. I got 10%, but that was more than enough money for me to then fund Sirius.
I see. And then what was the difference there? Sirius
had the dishes that were so small that they could fit on top of cars. So then I went up and down the Wall Street trying to get people to invest in the Sirius business plan. I went to the FCC to try to persuade them to approve the Sirius business plan.
Was NAB against it?
NAB hated it. NAB sent every single lobbyist from lawyer. I mean, K Street was emptied because all those lawyers were in at the FCC.
They were afraid of. They're still afraid of it. They're afraid of the merger. Are you for the merger?
They said I was the Antichrist.
Wow.
They said that this was unconstitutional, that this was sacrilegious.
Crazy.
They said that the Congress has written localism into the Communications Act, and because satellites aren't local, this is un-American.
So the NAB doesn't care about the consumer. They only care about keeping radio in a non-competitive way. They want the monopoly, not us.
Absolutely.
Right.
It hasn't changed for 2 decades.
Are you going to go to Congress about this merger?
If anyone asked me to, I would say it's the just thing to do because Sirius invented satellite radio. Sirius found the frequencies for satellite radio. The FCC said instead of having one great Sirius satellite radio service, we'll cut it in half and make 2 half-frequency services.
So if you invented Sirius and XM came in late in the game, how the hell did they sort of rise up before Sirius really got started?
Because with Sirius, we have a more advanced technology than XM. We use the figure-8 pattern, and that resulted in a longer lead time to build the Sirius radios. Our radios are better because basically quality takes time. So they took the fast and dirty approach to the market.
Right.
We took a little more time to get the better quality radio.
So you have to be thrilled with what's happened with satellite radio. Your invention has come to fruition.
Howard, I'm the most happy person you'll ever find because here there was something that was a dream in my head, and now thanks to you folks in particular, and thanks to Mel Karmazan, millions of people are enjoying these frequencies. The FCC should be thrilled. Nobody has done more for the public interest than this show and this company.
Oh, isn't that great, man? This is exciting time. I mean, you invented this whole deal, and here we are. We're enjoying it. And as a broadcaster, I said this to you in the hall, and I'll say it to you on the air. I thank you. If you hadn't invented this medium, I mean, the fact that I'm getting to look at this is like me meeting Marconi. If you hadn't invented this medium, I would have been out of the radio business.
I liked it better when you said this is like meeting Martine Luther Queen.
Oh, that's true. That's a whole other thing. But it's true.
Did you say that?
I did.
You're a witty guy.
But I got to tell you something. I am so grateful that you invented this medium. I mean, I am flourishing here and also able to be part of something from the ground up. But I mean, this has got to be nuts. This was a dream in your head, and now you're seeing it all come together. What is your prediction? Do you think there will be a merger?
I do.
You do?
I absolutely do. I think that, the way things work is that this was meant to be one satellite radio service. The frequencies were designed for one satellite radio service. Today, digital communication doesn't care whether it's satellite, internet, cell phone, iPod, what have you. There's so much competition. It's just stupid to have duplication of everything on XM and Sirius.
Right. Oh, this is fantastic.
Now, where else is Sirius going? Is Sirius going to the phone? Is Sirius going to do other things? I mean, is there other technology that you're working on?
Well, today I work full-time in a biotechnology company. I'm CEO of United Therapeutics. It's one of the largest biotech companies.
And that's super successful.
And you know what? I owe that to Sirius because Sirius gave me the money to start a biotech company to develop a cure for my youngest daughter who had a life-threatening condition.
And have you done that?
Yes, I have.
Wow.
You developed a cure?
Yes.
What was the condition that you developed?
It's called primary pulmonary hypertension, and it's a life-threatening condition that affects thousands of people. The blood vessels in your lungs, for some unknown reason, they clamp down, and no blood can get from your heart to your lungs, and people end up, fainting and then unfortunately dying.
Your daughter developed this after you invented Sirius satellite radio, and you said, that's it. I am now going to start a company to find a cure for my daughter.
Of course. I mean, what am I going to do? Keep, doing satellite radio when there's nobody to help my daughter? I'd do what anybody would do, jump a 10-foot wall to save your own kid.
And you figured out a way to save, and now you've saved thousands of lives.
Yes.
Wow.
And your daughter is fine?
Yeah, she's right outside.
Oh, wonderful.
I hear she's a huge fan.
I hear she's a knockout.
I love her.
Yeah. Maybe I'll love her, too. Maybe we'll all love her. You know what I mean?
Martine, I don't know if you know, it's Artie. How you doing?
Hey, Artie.
I thank you from me as well and my family. But I'm single. Me and your daughter getting together, is that something you'd be opposed to? Or
He didn't save her so you could have your hand.
You're right. That would have been a waste of time saving her.
No,
but I just wanted to ask Martine, like, this is one of those incredible stories that is so fascinating to me. And, you go through all that hard work, that research, and you get a company off the ground, And in a way, when you found out Howard had agreed to come here, wasn't that in some ways the final step to get this out to the mass amount of people? You must have been so excited when you found out about Howard coming, because he's the flashlight on this amazing invention you had, right?
Well, absolutely. You know, to make something succeed, the technology was a necessary but not a sufficient condition. That's how us engineers would phrase it. You needed the technology, but you also needed the content.
Right.
And all the canned music in the world is great. We all like to listen to our favorite stations, but that was not enough of a magnet to bring millions of people to satellite radio. Howard, you have brought millions of Americans to space, to the satellite radio, and as happy as you are and I am, how about the guy driving in his car that can now listen to you in Kansas and Chicago, everywhere in the country?
It's terrific technology.
How about the freedom of not being censored? One of the main reasons I wanted to start this company is it pissed me off that there were like these stupid censorship rules that you can't say this word, you can't say that word.
I love you, man. I really do. You have given us.
I didn't know they had split the frequencies so that they could make two companies.
XM literally copied our application at the FCC.
Ugh.
You mean, in other words, they benefited off of all of your hard work?
Freeloaded.
Freeloaded. So that has to drive you nuts.
And, well, that's why I love this merger, because I love justice. You know, I'm a Libra. I like things to be balanced and justice. And
I'm a Libra, too. Wow. We should get together.
You two are couldn't be more different.
No, but in a way, I know. But in a way, it's like you invent, like someone invents like a great game like baseball, and the last thing you need is someone that plays it incredibly well to get it out to people. And it's a merging of a lot of great creative people. It's really a fascinating thing.
It's an amazing story, is what it is. Now, are you still an owner in the company, Sirius?
Yes.
You are. You
still am.
You still have stock in it.
Yep.
Do you sit on the board?
I don't. I'd be pleased to. I'd be honored to, but I don't.
But you have a lot of shares.
Yeah, several hundred.
Several 100,000?
Yes.
Wow.
Out of Sirius's shares, unfortunately, that's not a lot.
Right.
Wow, so that's worth 50 grand.
Did you sell? But did you sell off your main interest?
Yes. Fortunately, I did.
And you did,
because I needed that money to fund the biotech company.
Wow. And the biotech company now is a huge
Doing
company.
very well.
Yeah, it's a publicly traded company, been profitable for 3 years, growing 40% a year.
And now, one question for Siobhan, okay? Did you find that your reception in boardrooms and in offices where you have to go and pitch your ideas changed once you changed your sex?
I think it did, Robin.
Yeah.
Honestly, I think it did. I mean, when I first changed and walked in, it was really funny. Sometimes, people would like spill their coffee on the table. They'd be so shocked.
Yeah, when I met Martine, I didn't know what the hell to do. Like, I'll tell you what happened. Tim came to me and says, Martine is here, who invented Sirius satellite radio, Martine Rothblatt. And I was like, oh, I gotta meet Martine. Like, what is he, French?
Martine? Is he French?
I knew it was a dude.
From another country?
Yeah, I didn't know anything about this. So Tim goes, listen, I'm just going to give you a heads up. I don't know what's going on. And, Martine, I think he goes, Martine's a guy, but he might have had a sex change operation. I go, well, what do I do?
What are we dealing with?
I said, I don't care if he converted himself into a tiger. I got to meet him.
And that's what the Wall Street people said. They said, finally, Martine, we don't care if you come to work in a monkey suit. If you make as much money for us as you did at Sirius and Pan Am Sat, we're happy.
Yeah, because you don't really try to look super femme.
No,
you don't.
I'm just myself. I actually don't care if people call me she or he. I thought that the day after I met you, you guys talked for 15 minutes about as man and woman, was the funniest 15 minutes I ever heard.
Could you convert yourself into a tiger if you wanted to? You seem to be a real genius. What was the operation? Did that make you feel better? Were you like really upset in your personal life?
I feel really happy.
You hated your penis, or
no, I didn't hate it. I loved my penis. I still have my penis. It's just an inner rather than an outer.
I see. And you were able to have orgasm with that thing?
Absolutely.
No kidding.
Yeah, the difference between like a rocket ship and Krakatoa east of Java. I mean,
and a healthy sex with your wife.
Very happy.
Where is? Let me meet your wife and your daughter, and at least pay homage to your great family and what you've done. Martine Rothblatt is really an incredible human being in my lifetime.
And how did you tell? I mean, how do you tell your wife? Were you open about this all the time during your marriage, or when did you have to say, look, there's a woman inside this man?
After I was so sure that she loved me so much that she'd never leave me.
Oh,
right.
Wow.
You would have gotten the operation if she would have left you.
Absolutely not. I love her first and foremost.
Wow.
And how do you tell your daughter? I mean, all of this is very You know, it's a step you don't know how the outcome, what the outcome will be.
You know, we live in a great country, and fortunately, our kids are great kids, and each of them were totally open-minded. And our family's main motto is like cherish diversity.
Wow. That's beautiful. Hey,
look at your beautiful daughter.
First, I'll say hi to your daughter. So your life was saved by your dad.
You got to be a good girl, right?
You better behave yourself.
That's right.
Yeah, I definitely have to say that I owe, my life.
You call your dad or your mom?
My dad.
Yeah, like mom junior or something.
No, I'm her dad. I'm proud to be her dad.
Right, you're the dad.
I have one mom, so I already, that position's already filled.
Everybody thinks you're real hot, by the way. How old are you?
I'm 22.
Too young for me. Well, not really.
Not really.
I got to say, Martine, you and your wife, you do something right because she's beautiful.
Yeah.
Thank you.
That's right. And that's the most important thing in the world. And you are Bina, right? Is that your name? You are Martine's wife. Now, it must have been a shock to you when Martine said, not only did I invent satellite, but I'm going to go become a woman. And you decided to stay with Martine,
yeah,
right?
how did that happen? I mean, were you aware that anything was going on?
No, I wasn't. I was really sort of in the dark on that one.
Did you take it as an insult at first? Like, what's the matter? Don't you want to have sex with me and stuff?
No, not at all.
Really?
It didn't come across that way at all.
Yeah.
Did you ever consider leaving and going, like, you must miss penis on some level?
I didn't consider it at all.
I don't know if I want to hear this conversation.
Do you ever ask your parents what it is they do in the bedroom? I'm trying to figure it out myself.
No, I can't say I ever did. That's just one, do you ever ask your parents? I mean,
no idea.
You can blame your father because he invented the only reason we can talk like that.
But it had to be an adjustment in the bedroom, right? You were used to having sex a certain way, and now you were having sex with a woman, right?
Well, I'm open. I was very open because I love Martine, so I'm a Martinisexual.
Right.
And so it's just we're just together. We can do so many things. So for us,
you don't miss penis.
No.
You've never said to yourself, maybe I need to go get a guy on the side every once in a while. Did Martine have a beautiful penis? Was it a terrible thing to see it go?
No, you know why? You know why it wasn't a terrible thing to see it go? Because I wanted Martine to be fulfilled, to be happy, to be a person. We only live this one life.
But even, as, they always say, I watch these documentaries, they say there is like a grieving process because you're losing something.
You lost
Martin. You go through a lot. I mean, it's tough because you're also forming a new personality. We had to go through a lot of versions of Martine.
I don't think a lot of people would show up at my penis's funeral.
Was it weird the first time?
No one would come pay the respects.
Was it weird the first time Martine took his clothes off as that Martin became Martine, and then you saw no penis there?
Well, we did it together, so we went through the whole process together. So it was
and it's gradual.
It's
right.
gradual.
It doesn't happen overnight.
Yeah, and then the surgeries in the hospital, and I was there for all of that, and it's really.
And the first time you had to make love to Martine as opposed to Martin, it had to be very, very confusing to you, right? I mean,
it was not confusing. I think that because I love Martine so much, I'm in love with Martine's soul. So it's just a different kind of love than some people have. You're talking about only physical for you. It has to be, it has to be just a vagina, just a penis. Well, it's really not so with us. It's everything. Like
see, that's
every
love.
touch. It's like
that's
everything.
real love.
That's a love of a person.
I could get Dana to stay with me over a little heroin.
Oh, here you go again.
Now, your daughter's name is Genesis, right?
Yes.
That's a very nice name.
Yes.
And Genesis, do you get embarrassed at all at first when your dad starts coming around dressed as a woman? It must have been difficult for you.
Well, yeah, Martine dresses pretty unisexual, and I had to say it was probably harder when I was in school, when it first happened.
I was going to say, how old were you?
I was 10.
Oh!
That's a big adjustment.
Yeah, I mean, being the youngest of four, I'm sure my older siblings probably didn't have as much trouble with it. It wasn't really a problem for me, but, friends at school would say stuff like, oh, your dad's a woman now. Are you going to be a man when you grow up and stuff like that?
Right. Understanding. Yes.
Where are those kids now? Because you ain't no man.
Hey, Bill, you're on the air in Battle Creek, Michigan. You're on the air with Martine Rothblatt, who invented Sirius Satellite Radio. It was a dream in her head, and she came up with this idea, and now it is a reality. Go ahead, Bill.
Well, thanks for taking my phone call, Howard.
My question is, I saw something at the auto show where some newer cars will come out with serious streaming video. Is that true?
Yeah.
Yes. Was that always the dream too, Martine, that you could stream video?
Exactly. All we had to do is we had to wait until the digital video compression caught up with the digital audio compression, and that's now happening. So, by the way, another benefit of the merger is that if we had the full spectrum that we originally discovered and were intended to have, then we could always stream video along with audio.
Wow.
So what you're saying is when the FCC decided in their wisdom to split your invention in half, so to speak, they really kind of impeded the progress of the invention.
Absolutely. They took the light bulb and they said, okay, everybody's only going to get half a light bulb.
Right.
We made the best we could of it, and thanks to you guys, we've made a great service here. But if we can have the whole light bulb back together again, the American public would benefit much more.
Well, then you're making incredible arguments for the merger.
Jeff, you're on the air in Memphis, Tennessee.
Hey now.
Hey now.
I just wanted to say I'm a trucker, and I wanted to thank Martine deeply. That you're the best thing that's ever happened to truckers.
Thank you.
You're darn right.
Right. I also have a beef about it too.
A beef?
Go ahead.
The beef that I have is she is also responsible for creating the tracking device for truckers.
Now, why are you against the tracking device for truckers?
Well, how can we run illegally if we're being
That's right. Martine, now you cut their revenue in half.
Let's go to Gary. Gary in White Plains. Go ahead.
Hey now, Howard.
Hey now.
I'll ask my two questions, and I'll hang up and listen.
All right.
Martine, my first question, how come occasionally I still lose my signal on my satellite radio, even though I am out in the open, so to speak, and not going through a tunnel or in a heavily treed area? Does the cloud cover or the atmosphere have to do with that? And my second question is, I'd like to know if his vagina is as nasty as Siobhan's.
Oh, jeez.
Well, we'll go with the first question. How's that, Martine?
Good idea.
All right, let's go to the first question. What about losing occasional signal?
Maybe for a second or so, sometimes there can be an eclipse of the satellites. Other satellites move in front and whatnot, so that can cause, a momentary break. And as regards to the second question is like all bodies are beautiful.
Yes. All right.
I have a question. Now
That's what I'm going with.
China can shoot satellites out of the sky. Are you going to do something about that? No.
Yeah, will you blow up China?
Actually, I think the best way to handle China is to bring Howard Stern to China.
Yeah. Hey, Martine, I was doing a little reading of books that you sent over to me. And are you working on something now with other scientists where you can create actual better human life by injecting, I think you call them nanobots, into the blood?
Yes.
Exactly.
And that we will become like superhuman?
Or like the $6 Million Man?
I don't think it's so much superhuman. We'll be able to cure the diseases that right now afflict people, especially in the 60s, 70s,
What about
and 80s.
aging? Come on, let's get to work.
Well, aging is another one of those kind of taboos that people say, well, aging is inevitable. But, people said that you could only have terrestrial radio, and Howard Stern proved that wrong. And people said that our illness could not be beaten, and Genesis and our company has proven that wrong. And our company's motto is medicines for life. And we believe, why should we stop at, people getting the diseases of 70, 80, or 90? We can take these little satellite dishes and shrink them now all the way down to nanobot size, inject them into your bloodstream, and use wireless communications to attack cancer cells, to rebuild hearts. And to me, that's the ultimate extension of the Sirius technology.
Is that what you're working on now?
Yes.
Wow. How do you like that? Now, there's a brain.
Amazing. That is amazing.
This is a woman we should worship. And really, you are an amazing person.
You actually are the ultimate person, aren't
That's
you?
right. What is it, Gary?
There's one thing we were talking about that we saw in the notes that we wanted to ask about. Martine's working on a documentary with that guy Moog, the guy that created the synthesizer.
Yes.
Right.
And it's incredible stuff, but basically he's working on technology that can download information from your brain to a microchip so that they can clone you and then upload that information.
All of your memories will be there.
Exactly. I mean, like right now, for example, if you have a serious heart problem, they can stop your heart. Okay, actually stop your heart while they have artificial machines circulate your blood and they repair your heart. Now, why not if you have something like Alzheimer's or strokes in your mind? why not take all of your thoughts, download them out of your brain, use stem cell technology to grow a fresh brain, and then upload all your thoughts back into that fresh brain.
Jesus
So in
Christ,
other
that's
words,
heavy.
Martine,
And that's like 10 to 20 years away. If we just work on it full speed, we can do it.
That's Battlestar Galactica stuff. That's what the Cylons did.
Right, but you know what? I was having a conversation with a friend of mine a week ago, and he said he wanted to be frozen because if he has a disease and he's going to die from it, he'd rather be frozen, and once that disease is cured, he would like to be brought back to life.
Both Bina and I are proud cryonicists.
Is that right?
Yes, absolutely, because...
You're saying we could have high-pitch Eric forever?
Howard, with that technology, couldn't you use it for bad too, right?
Sure.
You could say like Hitler could have taken people and uploaded into their brains to hate Jews. Do you know what I mean? Like you could upload whatever information you want to a person's brain.
You could manufacture whatever thoughts you want and have them be the thoughts of everyone.
Can you imagine the day when they could just take all our thoughts, put them on a microchip, and then give us a new body?
But you know what they could also do? If they can do that, then couldn't you upload it? It could be like the Matrix, where you want to learn something, you put it in the chip, and boom, it's yours.
Exactly. Bina says that's how she'll learn French.
I can't wait to learn French.
Yeah, because it's too hard on my own. I can't learn anything.
It's horrible.
Marianne, go ahead. We have Martine Rothblatt, the inventor of satellite radio.
It's incredible. It's inspiring. I can't believe the struggle of being a man to a woman, because I think of Siobhan, and I always worry about her. How you created this? Were you a brainiac in school?
No, we've covered that already. Irish John, you're on the air.
Good morning, Howard. Good morning, Martine. Hey, I got a question for you, Martine. If the merger does take place, do you have any suggestions on a new name for the company?
I think Martine should create the name because Martine is the Marconi.
Did Martine create Sirius? Did you name the company?
No. Yes, and also...
Why did you name it Sirius?
Because Sirius is the brightest star in the sky.
Okay.
So what is the new name you would like?
Personally, I think if we do this merger of equals, XM is a great name, and I'd be very happy to have XM as the name as the combined company, so long as Howard Stern is the #1 talent and Mel Karmazin is the CEO.
Now, what about the fact that Sirius is better known at this point? In terms of the marketing scheme, XM used to be the most identifiable, and our research seems to indicate now Sirius is the most identifiable since I came over here. So maybe stick with Sirius.
How about SM?
Why SM? What is that? Sirius M, so to speak? SM.
I said, Sirius SM. Because I was like Sex M.
What do you think? Wendy the retard suggested Jessica. People seem to like that. What do you think of that? I actually think the name Genesis.
I think Genesis is awesome.
There you go. I like it.
Genesis.
Yeah, that's cool. It's Genesis.
Let's make it ethnic. How about Vinny?
Vinny,
I like.
How about V'ger? Like just in the Star Trek movie.
I think since Martine came up with Sirius, just keep it serious.
That's the way to go, then, I would think, because Martine came up with it.
XM is catchy, though.
XM's catchy.
You have to
but Genesis stands for a new beginning.
That's right.
Genesis, I like it very much.
But you have to spell it with a J, because, that's more original.
Yeah, I like that. Your name is with a J, right?
Yes.
What do you have, a boyfriend? What's your story? You must have one, right?
No comment. Yeah.
What do you mean no comment? You don't like the boyfriend?
No comment with that.
Is the boyfriend a nice guy or what?
Well, it's
your parents don't like him?
Nah, it's complicated at the moment.
What's going on? What happened? What happened with the boyfriend?
Well, actually, I was married, but I'm in the middle of a divorce right now. So.
Married at 22?
Yeah.
You're kidding.
How'd that happen?
Oh wow.
Your father didn't save your life for you to go get married to some guy, 22. So now, is he becoming a woman, or is he...
Well, I love my parents, but I'm not sure if I could go through that personally. So if that was the case, then that would definitely be the reason for the divorce.
Martine, can't you build a perfect robot for her to marry? What do we need a person
for?
Well,
we're working on that with the nanobots.
I think it's great. What's the name of the company that you're with now?
United Therapeutics.
United Therapeutics. And Martine Rothblatt. Is there a website or something people should go to?
No.
Nothing. You don't have any kind of information out there that people
Sirius.com.
Sirius.com, right. Okay, Martine Rothblatt is someone, I hail you, I thank you. You've given me a future, and you've probably given a future to all the broadcasters out there who are even protesting the merger right now. You've done an incredible job, and I know that this technology of satellite radio and the kinds of technology you're working on now are the future. It makes our lives exciting, and I think we've only seen the tip of the iceberg with satellites, and this is a great
You
invention.
have a satellite inside.
Yeah.
Could you broadcast?
Into my head?
Oh my goodness! So you could be, you could be in your own head.
Yeah.
You could be walking down the street by yourself and go, "Don't talk to me. I'm listening to the weather."
I won't need any of you. I'll just broadcast my thoughts.
Hey, Martine, is it possible to download all the drinks out of my liver and upload them all as carrot juice?
Martine Rothblatt, thank you, and your beautiful family, Bina and Genesis, thank you. We're going to take a little break.
How was that in there?
It was. Right, no words for it.
Hey, Howard, nice to meet you. Can I get a picture with you?
Sure.
I can't believe. I mean, you changed everybody's career. You're incredible. I can't believe it.
1-800-MATTRE.
And you know something? That was interesting because I also always wondered where the name, why it's called Sirius.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? It's actually a star.
It's the brightest star in the sky.
That's amazing.
Like right after sundown, you'll see it come up, and it's the brightest star in the sky.
No, that's an amazing thing. I said,
Can I get a picture with you, Martine?
Sure.
Yeah, I just got this digital. Look.
Oh, that's nice.
Look at that.
Hey, no beard. My beard didn't even show.
No, it's amazing. Thank you. I'm thanking you. To be able to go on and do, what I do, for a living. Is amazing.
That's the biggest joy for me. That people who are great talent like yourself and Howard can now share it with hundreds of millions of people instead of going through some little FCC tunnel or just one club or something.
You know how many times he used to have to, he'd go for the button.
Life's about joy, and all we're doing is spreading maximum joy to maximum people.
No, you're
That's
phenomenal. I don't know how you thought of it, but it's amazing.
I'm so grateful to Howard and to Mel and everybody at Sirius for taking this technology and making it grow. Like I planted the seeds, but you guys created a beautiful tree. Thank you. Thank you so much.
They just seem so grateful to sort of reinvent it.
Is this the day?
Yeah, he's going to come in and say hi.
He wants to promote his show tonight, and then he sent like 18,000 plugs, for shows he's doing.
It was typical Jackie Day for me yesterday too, because Gary sent me a note saying, I guess Free FM offered Jackie.
No, I didn't send it. Or Tim sent that. No, I didn't even know about
Tim
that.
sent that. Oh, I guess Free FM, our old radio station that's doing so well, offered him like two tryout shows for the week, and. Did I have a problem with it? And I said, absolutely not. I don't have a fucking problem with it, but it's. I don't want to be in that loop anymore, the Jackie loop, where I have to, give my blessing. Because I never can win that one. No. I don't know how I always end up in that.
Pissed off.
Yeah, I got nothing to do with that. You can do whatever shows you want.
The guys in the office were asking.
Although I could make a good argument that the only reason
hey, when did they hear him on the radio?
Yeah. But who cares? They're welcome to him. Welcome to anything you want.
I was talking to the guys in the office the other day after we talked about Jackie last week, and they were asking me, what was it really like? Like, what were some of the things that would cause this tension?
Right.
And I started thinking about it. I said, okay, perfect example. We're here at Satellite. They just announced the potential merger the other day. Jackie would immediately be, we're doubling our fan base. I want more money. And that would go on.
He's back in he's in negotiation.
Yeah, we're going for the next year, and then you'd be comfortable, and he'd come in and he'd say,
I used to be like, well, Jackie, when was your pay evaluated through, the amount of people who listen?
Right.
But didn't he actually pull that?
Well, he did. The thing was, see, again, I would hear bits and pieces, and I would always think you'd know more than me, but I remember that when we started adding affiliates, he wanted to start to tie his salary to percentages.
He wanted to audit me.
Yes.
Yeah.
He did.
And I just said, I don't know what planet you're fucking
Bring your
on.
papers in.
He wanted.
Bring your papers.
But he
wanted to know. He wanted me to open up my books.
Oh, I know that.
He wanted his salary tied to a percentage of your salary, which doesn't make sense.
Well, to him it does. In Jackie world it does.
We should ask about all of this when he comes in.
Yeah.
Water into the fridge.
Did someone really use that language with you? Audit you?
Well, it was more or less like what it was.
We just want to peek at your books.
At one point, I guess Jackie had gone to management and asked for some deal, so they contacted my agent, and my agent said to me, well, what they're essentially saying is they want to audit you and see what you make.
And then Jackie will determine what he makes.
And I went, oh, okay, tell him to leave.
That's unbelievable.
Tell him, like, you know what? I just gotta. I can't take it anymore.
That's what, you know what? One of my favorite.
Does he get his salary lowered when we lost affiliates? I wonder.
Right, when the audience would dip. But one of my favorite things to do, you know, because every once in a while they'd be quoting, you know, Howard's whatever they thought his salary was in the newspaper. And that would be a good day for me because I always loved looking at Jackie's face while I read those articles. Because he would be, you could see the numbers. He was clicking, you know, calculating in his mind.
I need
how much he was losing on the deal.
I need blueprints and interior photos of Howard's house. Like, I just even remember, like, right before Jackie left, I was so, like, browbeaten from him and so punch drunk from it.
Yeah.
You know, punchy, literally, from all of his negotiating and his looking at me in a strange way. And I remember I had him out to my house, and I just met Beth, and we were hanging out. Jackie left when I just first met Beth.
Right.
And he actually hung out with me and Beth a couple of times. And then I remember when his negotiations were going on, he goes, well, I'm going to have to leave and give that beautiful lady a kiss from me. You know. And I went, uh-oh. Now he's looking over the Beth situation.
Right.
Is he going to expect me now to get him a girlfriend?
He needs 10% of her,
yeah,
too.
I know that might have been driving him nuts, too. So I was always like, uh-oh, what's going to set Jackie off now? Am I going to wear two nice pair?
Anything you do in your life.
If I buy some jewelry, is it going to set him off?
How many carats is that?
But, you know,
you mean you thought he was going to be pissed that you were dating a hot chick?
You could just
pissed him
give that beautiful lady a big, and I went, you know, I could tell already it was in Jackie mode.
Give that beautiful lady a big kiss when you're riding in that big block-long limousine from your two homes.
There was always a calculation, you know, like while Jackie was trying to enjoy himself and not notice what was going on around him, he was noticing everything.
All he did was notice.
That's all he did was like sweep the room, determine how much this was,
you felt like
decide what was going on there.
He should have traveled like with an accountant, you know, to evaluate and do audits on everyone. But you know, I just
it's going to be a pleasant appearance.
But you know, it was a weird move.
Well, that's what did it in. I mean, you know, he see what Jackie should have done, in my opinion, and I told him this many times. I said, forget me, look at you. Right. There isn't a guy in radio doing what you're doing, making the kind of money. I don't think there's a guy in television making the kind of money. I'm talking about writing and doing your thing.
I have the answer for that.
I know.
No, the answer for that was that he created the position, and that there was no peer to evaluate it.
Well,
in other words,
sometimes you got to evaluate it yourself.
But he would always say,
I'm like the guy who landed on the moon.
There's no me in any other part of show business to compare it to for a price comparison.
But it was also that he somehow thought he created Howard.
Yeah, that was the other thing.
That was the problem.
Yeah.
Apparently, he didn't know that Howard was around before he got there.
He was the clay, and I was the potter.
Yeah, I mean, Jackie had snappy lines and stuff, and I loved it. It was fun, but it just dawned on me that I kind of do this thing anyway, and maybe I don't need. In fact, some people had said to me, well, you can tell the lines, and, you know, it kind of isn't you. And
hey, can I tell you one other thing that Jackie did that I thought was always weird? When he was in contract negotiation, it was very clear, because he would come in and he would alert you about a minute before you went on. I'm let you know things aren't going well.
Yeah, right before I'm going on.
And then it would be like he would pout for a while. And Artie, you'll get this analogy. Like, Jackie would sort of work at 3/4 of capacity.
Right.
And it was almost as if...
it was a work slowdown.
It was a work slowdown. It was almost
to show me what it would be like without him.
It was almost as if Jeter was in contract negotiation and decided he was going to sort of not run so fast to first base.
Well, athletes have been accused of that.
Yeah.
But it was...
But what would be weird is, too, because we'd get into a rhythm and then he'd throw the rhythm off, and it was upsetting and annoying, and I don't need that shit. So, you know, but Jackie really did me the biggest... Jackie is probably one of the only people in the world that ever taught me as big a lesson as I've gotten in life. And there are 3 or 4 moments in my history that I can think of it. And Jackie taught me that I am fine on my own. And I really don't need to get horseshitted around by anyone in this business. You know, I think I used to say that, but I don't know that I really believed it.
I was going to say, don't you think you sort of knew that, though, before?
No,
I really didn't. Robin will tell you, I didn't. I really didn't know.
I wanted to... I kicked and screamed.
Yeah, Robin would say to me, "Don't you realize that this is just ridiculous?"
If Robin had her way, Jackie would have been gone in '87.
Yeah, but I you know,
And not because I hated Jackie,
right.
but I didn't like the whole deal.
But
I get attached to people, and I get very, you know, I'm very, very. I don't like change, but I've really changed as a result of Jackie. I'm okay, you know. It's part of the reason I think that you and I, Artie, can have such a good relationship too. It's like when Artie will come to me and say, "You know what, Howard, I need to do this or I need to do that. And I don't want a contract that's long and binding and stuff like that." And I'm like, okay with it because I love Artie. I love Robin. I love Fred. I love everyone. But I mean, my dignity was being like attacked. Like I didn't feel like I had any dignity.
More than anything else, it was like, why are you letting him do this to you? Like he's abusive.
Yeah. So I kind of.
But he would. You're saying he would purposely screw up the show on the air?
No, but
he would be less happy.
I would allow him to affect my mood, and like I can't do that. I work with other people. I have a life.
But it affects everyone else in the room. It affects Fred. It affects me.
Oh, when I see
that, that means I have to make an adjustment.
If you walk in this morning,
it was just bad. But it was my psychological drama.
When there's tension, I know from being here for 6 years, when there's tension, the show isn't. I mean, the fans might like it, but it's at its best when we're all sort of getting along and having fun and everything. And if there's one sort of monkey wrench in that, I could totally see how that could fuck things up just from experiencing what it's like here. You know,
it just became too tense and there's a certain element of that's funny on the air, but then even listeners will start writing and go, okay, enough with that already.
Right.
You know, it's
when
like,
is the drama going to end?
Yeah.
Jackie Marlowe's here. Marlowe. We're going to bring him in. You know? He's already like, what is this? Why do I have to camera?
Is he plugging stuff already?
Yeah, he's already plugging shit. He's got his cards up, you know? He's like Melrose Larry Green. He's got all his plug cards.
Jackie.
Good morning.
Good morning. How's it going?
Excellent. Oh, look at this. I got to hold this coffee from, man.
What's going on here?
Wow. He got you, man. He's almost like Dice Clay.
Now I got proof. So what are you doing here today?
I don't know. I thought I was doing Imus.
Just gonna hang out with the guys?
No, I came by to say hello and to promote my radio show.
Is Jackie here yet? Oh, Jackie is here. What are we going to talk to Jackie
What are you making a big star like Jackie sit in the green room? We have these great discussions about Jackie when he's not here.
We talk about Jackie. It's more fun than actually, like when he's here, it's kind of uncomfortable. What do you want to talk to him about?
I don't know. Well, we haven't seen him. Have we talked? Yeah, I guess we have talked to him.
What did you talk to him about?
What? Fred's anger?
No, that Jackie just signed on with Sirius, part of the family now.
He is?
All right. With what? What's he doing?
He bought a radio?
The Joke Hunt. Yes, he signed on for a year.
Jackie bought a Sirius satellite radio?
He's part of the family.
Fred, do you ever confront Jackie on your anger toward him?
You know what? It's long past.
You like Jackie now?
I've always liked Jackie. He's a pain in the ass, and sometimes he can be an asshole, but I think he'd be the first to admit that.
You think Jackie would admit he's an asshole?
I think he would. I think
Jackie's
he's man enough
Jackie's
now.
a good guy.
Although he might be old school. He might not see that.
So it turns out we have nothing to talk to Jackie about.
I thought he was going to come in here and perform. I heard him on the...
Yeah, he says he's not prepared to do his music, his band.
No, that's a typical Jackie thing.
Yeah. I told him yesterday and he's got a full band. But I like to hear what Jackie's been up to.
He can't go acoustic.
I want to hear what he's been up to. I want to hear about his love life. I want to hear about his performing life.
Right.
What he's doing.
He's not telling you nothing.
You know what?
There he is. No way. I'm telling you.
Fuck you.
Fuck you guys.
We'll have Richard and Sal come in here and work on you.
Yeah, they'll be gay for you.
Well, I mean, as a fan of the show for years, it would be good if you guys just had the conversation you had before with Jackie in the room.
No.
So he could respond to it. I mean, I don't know.
Oh, what are we going to say?
I don't know.
No, Jackie's my man. You can't do that.
It's always better to talk about Jackie when he's not here.
I'll talk behind Jackie's back anytime, but never to his face. Jackie, why don't you come in here, and then we can talk to Jackie. And
Musty?
Yeah. Fred's not a big Jackie guy.
He's a huge Jackie fan. They used to have a good time back
We used to have a good time. Jackie the joke, but look at him. Looks younger than ever. How old are you now?
I think he's as old as Regis.
He's older than you.
He's older than he's having bypass too, I think.
Yeah, he's as old as Regis.
Jackie, are you healthy?
Fred looks like his own grandfather on television.
Hey, Jackie, do you own a mirror?
Where do I sit? Right here?
Yeah, do you own
a mirror?
Hey, good looking.
Fucking own a mirror, you fucking crypt keeper.
Now, I heard Fred doesn't talk anymore, and he just said more than I've ever heard.
Yeah, when you come in the room, he starts talking.
He wakes up.
Since you left, he hasn't said a word.
I'm the crowd alarm clock.
You're the muse.
You know he loves to do you.
Fred, Jackie is making a point. When Jackie was here, you would get more into your Jackie impression.
Oh, yeah.
You would.
Well, there's
talk
nobody
more.
here to be an asshole like Jackie was in the old days.
That's the 10th time he said asshole.
Artie comes in, and he's a decent human being, and he's a professional, and he does his job.
Jackie,
Gary's a professional, and he does his job. Jackie comes in, doesn't do his job, and asks for more money.
Wait, Jackie always did his job.
You know, I came in here, and I wasn't going to break Fred's balls, and now he's like, he's setting the scene here.
Right, he is. He is definitely challenging you.
He, I said to Fred, let's get together for dinner. And he wrote me back, it's a little too blustery. Let's wait till it's nicer out.
That was just a nice way of blowing you off, asswipe.
Yeah, obviously. It's a little blustery. First of all, who uses that word? It's just, Fred, just say no.
Okay, no.
And
make you feel better? That's what Mel said to you when you wanted more money. No. Like that word a lot, don't you?
Oh my God!
That's what Nancy said when when you asked her to stay. No.
Nancy said no.
It's got up to 100 miles an hour.
He's right there, Jack.
Why is he doing that?
I don't know.
I don't know, Jackie.
Over there, Jack, behind you.
No, I'm looking at Artie.
He wanted to talk to Artie. He doesn't want to look at Fred.
I don't want to look at Fred. I don't want to turn to stone.
I mean, this
looks like you already did.
This got ramped up.
Man. No, you know, when we talk behind your back, Fred gets angry about you.
Everybody says that it's like Niagara Falls. Slowly I turn, you know.
I know.
Hey, I got a question for Fred.
Just step back a little bit, Jackie, and look what you've done to the show when you did it to the show.
Whoa.
Wow.
What do you mean, Fred?
Well, the times that he's walked out, basically,
explain to me.
It's all about him. It's all about Jackie. It's all about the world of Jackie. It's all about me.
Fred,
me.
You don't have
I get
the concept.
attention. I get the money. What?
Fred, you don't have the concept of me down.
You're right.
Not of me, but of yourself. You know, you're allowed to ask for more.
I think
not
Fred,
the way you did it.
I think. I think Fred.
No, I'm taking my jokes and I'm going home. Thank you. Good night. Turn off my light.
I think Fred.
The difference is, Fred, everybody thinks you're crazy and they don't think I'm crazy.
No, they think you're crazy too.
No, everybody knows
they
you're
do,
crazy.
but am I going to say that?
How many people don't think you're crazy?
You see, Artie, this is the tension you were talking about.
It's great,
I gotta admit, look, I feel like a fan again. This is fantastic.
Hey, can I ask a Jackie Fred question?
Wait a minute.
I can't wait till Jackie starts goofing on Gary.
Yeah, that's only a matter of time.
That's what I
got that blunderbuss in my pocket.
Yeah,
but
he didn't come
I came on to announce that me and Ian signed our contract and we're here for a year and you're stuck with us.
Oh, great, for Jackie's joke hunt.
Jackie's joke hunt.
Oh,
and
that's
it's exciting. It's fun.
Yeah. Jackie has his own show every Tuesday night here at Sirius on Howard 101. It's at 7 o'clock.
It's tonight, right?
7 p.m. Eastern.
What's the theme tonight?
Tonight is the finger banging show.
What does that mean?
Finger banging show.
Jokes about finger fucking.
The whole hour?
No, maybe one joke.
My sister.
We don't really adhere to the theme, you know, but it makes it stupid. It's fun.
My sister has Sirius Satellite in her car.
Yes.
She goes, I'm driving on a long trip, and she goes, I didn't think I'd like it, but I listened to Jackie's whole show. It was great.
Yeah.
She liked it. The women even
Thank
like
you,
it.
Ellen.
Yeah, she likes it very much.
I gotta say,
it's just good. You know, it's me telling my goofy jokes, you know.
Right.
I like it when Jackie.
It's fun.
I scream at the
I heard
radio.
you. I heard you yell at the radio.
Yeah, I scream at the radio.
What were you saying, Gary?
I like when Jackie tells his jokes, but I love when Jackie tells his stories. That, you know, not his jokes, but his stories about real life.
Yeah, it's all in the show, and Jackie has taken the show, and now it has become very popular, and he's doing his thing, so he is back with us. That's all.
Fun.
That's it. He's having
I want
fun.
to come in. You know, I get a lot of emails that people say, "When are you going to go in? When are you going to go in?" And I said, "I want to go in and say hello." You know.
Fred, you were against me giving Jackie the show, right?
Actually, no.
No, you were.
And
okay
now
with
that now I've heard his show, I have to question my own judgment.
You listen to it, Fred? I swear to you, and you don't have to believe me. I have no idea why he's so hostile towards me.
I'll explain it to you. Here's his thing.
because he doesn't see anything.
No,
it's this Jackie's blindness. Or
he
something.
felt that you were the only one on the show when you negotiated that you would do walkouts and you would, they'd have to turn out your lights on the E show for a month and this and that. It's
you were
somehow
like a high maintenance
else,
chick, Jack.
We all have our quirks,
right? So he
and was beyond quirk.
And he felt it disrupted the show. Robin, too, right? You agreed with
Well, Jackie knows how I felt.
Yeah,
I mean, I always made it clear.
Right.
Usually hold yourself close to your vest.
Jack, what is going on?
There was no question.
What is going on these days with you? Are you, involved in a romance?
Not really.
Isn't it amazing? Didn't you think Jackie was like the ladies' man of all time? I mean,
yeah, he always, acted as if
Howard. I'm 59.
He was
Are you
29.
Are you 59?
Well, 54.
That's
really,
what he's
how old
telling
are you?
everybody.
Gary's
48. He was born in 48.
Well, what does that mean? You're
February
59?
I was
48.
born 51.
February 48.
40.
Guaranteed.
He was born in the
51.
40s.
So what is
Give me
that?
a break.
What type of woman are you able to get young girls, or are you?
No, not really.
No.
No.
If you were with the show, you'd be able to get young girls.
Of course,
Yeah.
You can't go. I mean,
that's the only
come
thing
on.
I regret.
Jackie chose a great moment to leave the
I had
show.
15 years that,
Where you were
of being married, and then I left the show and
Your timing sucks.
No,
You
that's
believe
fine.
this, Artie? I mean, Artie gets laid left and right.
Is that true?
Oh.
I mean, left and right compared to how I used to get laid. Now,
But look at you, left and right
You're
is a
holding
long ways
yourself
away.
back.
Yeah, right. I'm not like that.
No, Artie's holding himself back. Women are throwing their phone numbers at him.
Yeah, but they all look like me.
No, but Jackie.
The last hot chick I asked to go out to dinner, she said, it's a little too blustery.
Too blustery?
Unbelievable.
How great is that?
Okay, now you can buy your beach house, Jackie.
So you were going to go.
Like Jackie. I meant to say Artie.
Oh, Artie. Right. Yeah, Artie's
Fred's
gonna buy,
got so many things backed up to say that he can't get them out.
Artie is going to buy a beach house like you,
Yeah.
Jackie.
And then
Next
he's going
to
to put out
me?
some joke tchotchkes
not
like
up,
you.
Not out by you, but he is going to follow in your footsteps and live on the beach.
I understand. And when is he walking out?
I'm a real beach guy.
Any day now he's walking out. But what age girl are you dating now?
Just anybody,
Yeah,
I've seen him. I've
is
seen
a young girl to
8
you?
to 80 blind cripple or crazy.
Is a young girl to you like Joan Rivers or?
I dip under 30 here and there
No, but-
until
do
they
you?
find out. Yeah.
Oh, do you?
No, please.
Have you dipped under 30?
No, I go out with anybody.
All right. Is it a lonely life? Are you sad?
Yes.
You are.
No.
I don't know. I just wonder what's going on. Are you dating someone now?
Yeah, I go out. I got a bunch of different people I go out with, and I actually work my ass off for that 1 hour show.
Yeah.
And it's cool.
That's it.
He's got a lot of gigs, I see.
And he and
The same
Nancy are
old-
still friends. That's the thing I always loved.
You know what? That's what I don't understand. Nancy and I are great friends, and people are flabbergasted by that. But
Because you weren't friendly while you were married.
well, please.
Were you friends with Richard Jeni, the comedian?
That's so odd, man. I saw him like twice in the last 20 years or 25 years, but we were road warriors. I have a couple really great stories that from traveling
Richard
with
Jeni,
him.
by the way, is the comedian who shot himself in the head.
Yeah, but he was so funny and had such a great
know he had
ego,
such
and he had such a good sense of humor. When I heard he died, I thought, holy jeez, Jenny's got had cancer and nobody knew it, and then somebody said, no, it was a suicide. I'm like, he would have been the last guy.
Did you know he had such a dark side?
No, I knew he was crazy and horny. He was a comedian,
All right.
Howard,
but no different, some guys are wacky, but he was certainly not. He worked so hard on his act, and he was so goddamn funny.
Isn't Richard the guy who...
I tried to get him on here for years, and I get Richard Jeni in here.
Yeah, we had him on.
And then you guys had him on after I was cool.
As soon as you left, we had him on.
Isn't Richard the guy, Jackie, who at a party at your house found Nancy's giant shit?
That's the guy with the spanner.
Yes.
The spanner.
He had to break it up with a hanger.
And I swear to God, you know how...
Yeah, Jackie had a party at his house,
Right.
and Jackie's wife, Nancy, used to take these massive shits.
Called a bowl spanner because it spans the whole
She was
bowl.
a very skinny girl, like a great body, but she...
I almost called
over a
scientists.
river, yeah.
I almost called scientists in to say, how did that...
Come out of her.
And Jenny, when we lived on Perry Avenue in Bayville, and when we had the 4th of July parties with 300 people, and Jenny went around and said that he went into the bathroom after Nancy came out, and there was a spanner that went across the bowl like Tarzan would put down a log to cross the stream, and
Right,
the
it was
water
a big
went under it.
bridge,
He
yeah.
had to break it up. It was. I was going to talk about it on the show tonight.
Do you think
at
that's
7
maybe
p.m.
why
on Jackie's show.
Do you think that's why maybe he killed himself? He saw Nancy's spanner.
in his dreams, like that
maybe never got over it. No. But you know what Jackie used to say? He would say, like, you know, she eats like a horse, Nancy.
Right.
But maybe she just shits it all out.
Well,
She's so little and thin, and you know, she's always had a perfect body. She's like, you know,
she's probably healthy. You know what I mean? Like that, you get it out, you eat, you get it out. Yeah.
Oh yeah.
But she didn't flush it. I mean, she just walked out.
She probably flushed it. She didn't know it didn't go down because it was spanning.
But you know,
when I go to the bathroom, it doesn't span the drain. You know.
Did you ever say to her why didn't she?
Artie understood that.
Did you ever ask her why she didn't flush?
Absolutely.
Did you ever ask her why she didn't flush?
No, that's the point. She flushed, but it spanned the bowl. The water went under it.
She didn't look in?
Well, I don't know.
No.
Do you look?
She's having a party. She
I
got to
do
get
too.
back to her
I take
guests.
photos.
I make sure it goes down the drain.
So I'm on Pharrell's show and we're talking, and I start laughing about Gary, and I don't know what it is, but it's like Fred breaking my balls. I walk in the room and it's like instant, and like I break into a smile and I'm laughing. I'm telling them a few tales, and then I realized, and I know you've probably made this analogy, but we were peeing that when you're talking to Gary, it's like talking to a girl with a really nice set of jugs,
right?
Because she knows that inevitably you're gonna look down, and like when you're talking to him, your eyes drift to his
teeth,
mouth.
right.
That's great. You get hypnotized.
It really is true, because even today when Gary was standing at the microphone waiting to talk to me about something, I look over and he's trying to cover his teeth with his lips, and he couldn't get it done. And then I get obsessed, and I'm looking and I go, he's trying to cover those teeth with his lips, and he can't. And then now, instead of concentrating on what I'm supposed to be concentrating on,
next thing you know, your mind is in another place.
And this is why I miss Jackie.
No, but it hypnotizes you. He's right. Jackie used to draw constant pictures of Gary's mouth. There it is, right there, close up on the camera. Wait here, look. See, there it is. You see how you get? It's like a fire. You know how you?
Where am I looking? I don't get this.
You ever sit by a fireplace and you get hypnotized?
Oh, that's exactly. I was laughing so hard.
Yeah.
I swear to God, the funniest thing in the world was when I came in that time, the last time you were on at K-Rock or whatever, and I came in to talk to you guys. It was so fun to see and yak and fart around. And as I'm talking to Gary, it happened. I completely stepped out of the whole thing. It wasn't like I was looking at him and saying, "Oh, remember the guy with the teeth?" Like all of a sudden it hit me.
You know what he does? And it's just like exactly how Artie felt with the Don Rickles thing. When Don Rickles gets that tone in his voice and he goes, "You baby gorilla." Jackie turns around to me and he goes, "Those lips." Oh, God.
It's way beyond saying anything.
He gets a weird tone in his voice.
Is Gary's mouth kind of like when Pam Anderson bends over in a low-cut dress, like you got to look?
What are you going to do?
Yeah, what are you going to do?
Talking?
Yeah. Do you miss it? Do they ever haunt you, the lips and the teeth?
I'll tell you, the guy at the roast said his teeth look like a lineup of urinals at Shea Stadium.
Yeah.
That was the funniest thing I've ever heard.
I forget who that was.
That was Greg Fitzsimmons.
Oh, yeah, that's really good.
That was so fun.
Did you see how he totally shifted Fred? It was Fred and it was like, boom.
Right.
Fucking left turn to Gary.
Let me keep talking to Fred so he can stay on my case. What am I, stupid?
That would always blow my mind. We'd be having a conversation about something entirely different.
No, Fred, you were having a conversation with Fred.
And he always steers it back to those teeth.
Gary's teeth is the ripcord for Jackie.
Absolutely.
It's the ripcord.
That's what he does. That's his
Didn't
thing.
you ask me?
You're a guest.
I thought you asked me.
No, you did. He did.
No,
you said, "Hey, by the way."
That's part of being a guest, Jackie.
You brought it up.
The art of deflection that John tried to master.
Do you see what I create in this room? Do you see it?
Exactly.
There's magic. There's
It's
magic.
not as good as when I'm not here. But
Do you realize that Jackie's two favorite ball-busting moments, for me anyway, are Gary one time sent out a mass email with a mistake. Instead of the word make, M-A-K-E, he wrote EMAC.
No, it's A-M-K-E, which is a common...
I make the mistake all the time, but whenever I do it, I lie. Whenever I make that mistake, I see those gums.
So Jackie now, he puts AMKE in every one of his emails.
Howard,
I did it the other day.
15 fucking years ago, the guy sends me an email.
Right.
I hope you AMKE a lot of fun. Fuck you.
AMKE.
And what's the other one?
The other thing has to be.
Come on, that never gets old.
I forgot about Amke.
I heard Tony listens to the show too. Is that true?
Yes, he does. He loves you.
Mr. X.
Oh well.
Whatever.
You're a dead man.
That cat's out of the bag.
AMKE.
Good going.
And the other big Gary ball busting moment. What was I just thinking
Booey,
of?
the hair on the back of my haircuts. Used to love.
I was thinking
the other mistake.
When I used to sing "Beautiful Dreamer," when he tried to talk to
No, I don't remember that.
Oh,
What
yeah,
was that?
you know what that is?
because he looks like Mighty Joe Young, and he'd come in and try and talk to you during commercials to try and explain to you, try and get your attention. Because he has like a 2-minute window. He's like, "Oh, come on, should we have this guy? Should we have that guy? Who should we have come in?" And and like you'd be, and also I'd be back there going, because Mighty Joe Young, the theme song was "Beautiful Dreamer."
That's how they calmed the ape
down. She played that to calm down the ape, and I'd be going, and he'd go, "Shut up!" And you'd be like, what's going on?
No, that's why listening back then, no subject was too heavy. Whatever rap you were doing at any moment, it could be derailed by a half an hour abuse section on Gary.
Well, what Gary would
or on me. Well, I mean, I would point it to him to get it off me.
But Gary would hate it the most when I would be yelling at him, and then I'd be done, and then Jackie would slip me a note like, look at those fucking teeth.
He'd write a line, it was over, and you were.
Well, what would happen was he would leave. He would leave, and just as he's going through the door, I'd go, look at that ass. Gary, come back.
I told you, the thing that used to make...
It's like this. It's like barn.
The thing that used to make me crazy with Jackie is you really would be done, right?
Yeah.
You'd be done.
Right.
And there would be this small moment of silence where you would be regrouping to think of what subject you were going to go to. And that's where you'd hear Jackie go... and that would remind you to fuck with me some more.
Right.
It was crazy.
Yeah, it would keep going on and on.
It would,
and on.
because he would laugh, and that would fuel you, and like, oh, maybe we should fuck with Gary some more because it's obviously funny.
My favorite story you would tell about that time that I've overheard you guys talk about is during a commercial. It wouldn't even stop because Gary had to come in and get actual work done, and Jackie would pass a picture of his teeth.
That was maybe my other favorite thing.
He would hold 2 pieces of paper up to his lips. Those were Gary's teeth.
So like even during but the fact that it's during a commercial,
there was no cause for it.
It's just such dedication of ball breaking.
Jackie would do this. He'd go,
come on, that's funny, man.
No question, it's funny.
Gary's trying to make a point. Everybody's laughing.
And then Jackie got into...
that's a commitment.
Jackie got into a weird phase where he was cutting out these white pieces of paper and putting the teeth on... like, he'd put them on Elliot Oppen over there. He'd put them on the cover of Rudy Giuliani in the paper. He would just tape them to everything. Remember?
That's true.
yeah, I guess my other thing I was thinking about is when we had the Channel 9 show and we were there for endless hours and we started painting and making paintings of Gary. And my painting was Gary coming out of the sea. And
that was as insulting as 15 years of breaking his shot.
But I wanted to do the rise of man, like he would morph into Gary, like an animal coming out of the sea. And I never had the skills as a painter.
No, but the buoy Lisa, that was Fred.
Fred was good.
I saw that t-shirt.
We're all fooling around and wearing berets and breaking balls. He was Da Vinci.
Fred.
I mean, he climbed into the role and just was,
But see, that was really
of art that lasted forever.
The part that was hurtful and insulting wasn't drawing the pictures. I get it.
No,
Jackie's
I'm insulted. That was a good piece of art.
You know what? I opened the door. You guys are supposed to be working for real.
Well, that's how
you guys are supposed to be back there writing bits. And Artie, I opened the door, and all 3 of them, like the fucking 3 Stooges, have easels and berets. They have fucking berets on.
You're forgetting the smock.
I opened the door, and they are laughing their ass off. Like it's really like a fuck you. You know what I mean?
But that wasn't even being taped.
No,
that was just fun.
I don't think we had cameras back then.
That was us entertaining each other.
That was us saying, look, we did a whole morning show. Then we'd sit there for hours and write every sketch for the Channel 9 show.
You got to keep the writer's room loose, guys.
I know.
It was, an unwinding thing they were doing.
And then here's where it got crazy.
But we had berets. I mean, come on.
Where'd that come from?
Somebody sent us berets, and we'd walk around the station in our berets. And then we had people cleaning our paintbrushes.
Well, you said we want to paint, and didn't they send up paints and brushes and
But here's where it got really, really insulting. So Jackie and the guys would just...
Here's where it got insulting.
Jackie and the guys would draw... Because now it's all coming back. They would draw like pictures of me on a just plain piece of 8x10 white paper. Remember? And it would just be...
And they tacked them up.
Howard would draw something, Fred would draw something. So at one point, they filled the entire wall. I'm not kidding. From top to bottom. And then they would draw one that they really liked, and they would fight over which one to take down to put up the new one. And it would be, no, you can't take that one down.
Well, they had to be quality control.
There had to be a decision that only Gary art was what they were going to do.
Well, at one point I had this idea because we were so popular in New York. I would start a museum and then just hang every picture that we drew of Gary, and like our fans could come and see all the Gary art.
It would be so funny. It would be so funny.
Do you still have those pictures?
We must.
Did you collect all the
had to be over
pen
100.
and inks?
There was
the paper and ink?
The etchings.
There were tons. Yeah, maybe I have them. Jackie might have them for all.
Well, I have just notes where I'd write a joke about Gary, but draw the big circle head with the teeth taking up 90%.
What I resented was Jackie would use up every canvas because he would do 3 or 4 paintings a day.
Yeah, He had no quality control.
He's just reminding me that he started drawing Gary, and first Gary had a head and eyes and nose, and eventually Gary became the mustache and the teeth, and he would just hold them up.
And then remember, we morphed into our executive producer, Dan Foreman. We morphed into drawing Dan.
There was a few Dans on the wall.
There was some Dans, but mostly Gary.
Mostly Gary.
Hey, well, we obsessed on Dan for a while because he's not the world's prettiest gentleman.
Look, there's Gary. Look at the TV monitor.
There he is. You know what? I think he's still pissed off at me. Because it was my idea to take that stupid puppet of him and mount it so when he talked to you from back room, that it would talk. Oh, and I know every time he comes in, he just
that I didn't mind. What I really did get mad at you about, because it was your idea, and you just got your little fucking stormtrooper to execute it, was when you guys stole the Gary puppet at appearance, and I was too stupid to see that coming. How I didn't that's one of those things where you go, how did I not see that coming?
I know that was the great.
You know what? I would love to take credit for that. But
John blamed it all on you.
That was all John. John blamed me, but that was John's genius.
No, that was John. That was
Jackie had nothing to do with it.
We were back writing something, and we spent a lot of hours together writing. And John told us that he was going to steal the Gary puppet at your appearance.
He said it was Jackie's idea, and he just executed it.
No.
That was all John.
Oh, I would love to take credit for it.
I mean, it was brilliant.
Because John knew you had asked to take the Gary puppet to an appearance.
When Gary lost that Gary puppet.
Artie, can I tell you how stupid I am?
I went in on it. I said to Gary, I don't mind you taking the Gary puppet to your appearances, but just know that's a one of a kind.
Right.
I love that fucking thing more than I do you.
He was so petrified.
So it was all set up that I love the Gary puppet.
Right.
Gary shows up. John somehow sneaks the Gary puppet
Can I tell you how he did it, though? Because this is my stupidity. I think about it. I thought about it afterwards. It was so fucking angry that I was such a sucker for this. I was doing an appearance at a car stereo store in New Jersey, right? So John had set it up with the guy.
Always fun.
So
I'm doing one tomorrow.
So the guy, the puppet's behind the counter, and the guy, the owner of the store, grabs me and he goes, "Listen, we've got this amazing sound system. You need to come out to the car and hear it." So I get in this guy's car where he cranks the stereo up as loud as he can with my back to the store. They could have fucking, taken my car and everything. I'm like leaning back in the chair going, "This is great." When I come back, the puppet's gone, and I go to the guy where it goes. He goes, "I don't know." And I'll tell you what, this is crazy. I don't know if I've ever told you this before. A listener, had given me the plate of the car that took it. He saw it, the puppet thrown in a car. Right. It turned out it was John's assistant. I had a friend of a friend who was a cop. I actually had him run the plate. They couldn't find the plate. It turned out it was off by one digit. Yeah. Like, I was going to find that fucking puppet before I came back on Monday.
Did you call me and have to tell me that you lost the puppet?
No. What happened was, I was just waiting until Monday. I knew that you guys took it, but I couldn't prove it. But I knew it, and I knew I was going to get shit. So I kept calling John all weekend. And
let me ask you a question. Who else but Gary could have such an intricate thing where you have a cop that's going to chase down the thing and find the plate and find the guy, but the plate was off by a digit?
I didn't write it down, asswipe. I didn't write it down.
I think it's a 4 or an 8.
Wouldn't it have sucked if Gary had killed himself?
Well, let's try every number. It's off by one digit.
Yeah, it's only 7.
Yeah, which one is it, Robin? Was it the first one?
You try each one.
No, let me see if I have this here. Maybe we'll do a little in Orange. Give Rodney a Chance prank call on your page in Orange. Have you heard that, Jackie?
On what?
The Give Rodney a Chance prank call. Have you heard that?
Oh, the prank call using, your Give Rodney a Chance joke.
I heard about this, and I would love to hear it.
All right, here you go. Here is the Jack and Rod show and Jackie's Give Rodney a Chance.
You won't cuss it.
And we're back on the Jackson and Rodney show. What up, what up, what up? Yo. Yo, so we've been running this contest, right? Yeah. So check this shit out. Who do we got on the phone?
Rodney.
Okay, let's say hello to Wacky Jackie the janitor, and let's get this game rolling.
How you doing, Wacky Jackie?
All right, Rodney, I'm at your kitchen. You can answer this kitchen. You can get the diploma and you can get it.
Okay.
What am 3 times 3?
9.
That's the wrong answer. 7.
Oh, Rodney, come on.
Wacky is whack.
Well, he's saying that you're giving the wrong answers here.
And I'm saying he's whack.
Give Rodney a chance. Give Rodney a chance.
Give me the question already.
If you can answer this question, you can get the diploma and you can get it. What am 5 plus 2?
7.
That's the wrong answer. 8.
What type of operation you running? I know my math, nigga.
Give Rodney a chance. Give Rodney a chance. Rodney might answer one more question. If you can answer this question, you can get the diploma and you can get it.
Okay, what is it?
What am 6 minus 1?
5.
That's the wrong answer. 7.
Wacky, I know that's the right answer, you motherfucker.
We're sorry that Wacky Jack He's a tough customer. Wacky Jack just didn't have it together today. I'm sorry, my man.
Give Rodney a chance.
Okay, just fuck y'all. I'm tired of this bullshit anyway.
How great is that?
That is so funny.
Yeah, well.
Now I have no idea. That's a bit. That's not a call.
No, that's a
Is that a
phone call? Yeah.
I can't even tell.
Using your voice. Well, so finish your story about Richard Jennings. So the guy who killed himself. I knew Richard a little bit because we had him on the show after you left.
But of all the people, like if you told me 20 comedians, you'd say, "Oh, that guy might do something, and that guy might do something." But that would have never been.
Richard.
I mean, I didn't know him. He was in one of my favorite stories when we were down south, and he was on stage in Savannah back in the days when there was like 15 or 20 people in the whole place. And he wasn't doing very well. It was so long ago that he was actually the middle act, and I was the headliner, and he started doing Jewish stuff. I mean, if you did it in Savannah now, nobody would understand. This is like 1981, and he's doing Jewish-related jokes. And they're sitting there looking at him like he might as well have been speaking French, So out of frustration, and this is a true story, he goes, "Do any of you people know what a bagel is?" And a guy in the corner goes, "Yeah, it's a hunting dog." I fell off my chair. I was screaming. I could see him. I could see him.
What comedians would you expect to kill themselves? Richard
so
Jennings.
They know.
Yeah. I mean, it's...
You know what? I don't know anybody well enough anymore, but some guys are more stable than others. There was one guy that killed himself like 25 years ago who was so funny but could not get a gig, just couldn't get a gig. And you were really worried that one day you're going to say, well, he's gone, and then he was gone. But he was so funny. Artie, I don't know if you know the story, but his name was Mark Center, and he was just one of those guys where the comedians would pee their pants and nobody else was laughing.
Is he the guy who jumped off the hotel in L.A. by the Comedy Store?
No, that wasn't him. That wasn't him. He, garage with the car, Mr. Colonel Mustard in the hallway with the lead pipe,
That's scary.
But he couldn't, and people would say, you can't hire him, and I'd have to wait a couple months and then use him again when they'd forgotten who he was, because he just couldn't get a freaking laugh. But one year he got a job, and he couldn't get a job. Couldn't work. He never worked. He just walked around the comic strip being depressed. And one Christmas, I said, "How you doing, Mark?" And he said, "I just got a job as a department store Santa Claus." He said, "It's really nice to have something steady."
And then he killed himself.
Saddest story I've ever heard.
What? So when's the last time you got laid?
This morning.
Oh, you did?
Oh, yeah.
Had a girl last night?
No.
Oh.
No, I have hookers.
No, seriously.
Maybe a week ago, 2 weeks ago. Yeah, I get laid here and there.
Yeah, I can't
3 times, up, down, and up.
I just think it was the biggest faux pas, this guy leaving the show
When
and then getting the divorce.
When, he was going to be single again.
Yeah. Yeah, that's weird.
Hey, can I ask a question of Jackie and Fred sort of together?
Because he could have a new manager now.
It's one of those it's one of those weird things that happened on the show, and I never, as good a friends as I was with both of them, I was never able to talk to either one of them about it. I've always wondered what it was like.
Okay.
One day I walked in, Fred and Jackie wrote everything together. They were a team. They did everything together. It was great. And one day I walked in, and Jackie announced that he had negotiated a deal where he was the head writer.
Right.
And I remember it was very uncomfortable on both sides, and it was never discussed. And I just always wondered what was.
See, this is in bed. I never thought it was uncomfortable. Maybe Fred was uncomfortable, but Fred is uncomfortable.
But why wouldn't you think? Why would you think Fred would be uncomfortable over?
I never thought he was. You've created this.
You think so?
I think so.
Fred, was it uncomfortable, Fred?
Yeah, it was uncomfortable.
Yeah, but who would know?
Oh, dude, come on.
Oh, yeah.
I
I walked in one day and Fred opened up to me and said, "Jackie, you know what really bothers me?" Oh, come on.
But how could you not
tell me 2 things that bother Fred right now? You've been with him 25 years.
I know a lot of things that bother Fred.
Go ahead.
You're 2 of them.
It's a good way to deflect.
There are 2 things that bother Fred.
I want to go on record saying I love Fred Morris. I love him.
Fred Morris?
One of the funniest guys in the world.
But how could you not think it would be weird that you guys did everything together and then one day you would somehow, I didn't even understand.
You were his only, you were only 2 writers, and so you became his boss.
Okay. What happened was
I wrote some stuff, but you were my boss
Jackie
too.
Jackie had to have a title.
If you want to know what happened, when we got the Channel 9 show, they called me up and said, "All right, we're doing the show, and you and Fred are going to be segment producers.
Okay.
And I said, I'm not a segment producer. I'm a writer.
Right.
And they said, no, we don't have a deal with the Writers Guild. You can't be writers. You have to be, segment. And I said, no, I'm a freaking writer. And then it got me pissed off. And I said, in fact, I'm the last guy that's deciding what's going in front of Howard, so I want to be head writer, because they backed me in the corner, and I got pissed off. And they said, but, Fred writes as much, blah, blah, blah. And I said, but I'm the last one that sees it before it goes in front of Howard, so I'm the head writer, and I write a little bit more than Fred anyway. And they said, well, that's because he's so busy with the sound effects. I said, well, I don't want to be head sound effect guy. I want to be head writer. Yeah, of course he's too busy because he's doing a different job. And that was the thing. So I went to the wall, and then
Fred, what do you think of this?
So me and Fred both got wound up being listed as writers instead of segment producers, which is a big deal.
That's classic Jackie.
That is Jackie.
I'm still thrilled. I didn't want friggin' segment producer.
What upset you, Fred, about it?
I don't know. It just seemed like he put himself above me in that respect, and that really pissed me off.
Right.
I was with the show before, Jackie. I wrote just as much. Sorry, Jackie. I wrote just as much as you did, and a lot of stuff off the air. We kind of shared in the responsibilities, and the fact that you would
No. This was all about what happened on the fly,
dude.
And when I started on shut up, Martian. When I started on the show,
no, you're not going to shout me down on this one because this is the truth, and you know it's the truth. We all sat there together, me, you, and Howard, all in one room. We hashed it out. We were a team. The fact that you decided, I'm going to be the head cheerleader. What the fuck?
I think there was also something about his evaluating too that
absolutely
bothered you as well.
No, it had everything to do with what we did.
I take responsibility for that. I said to Jackie, you are going to be the arbiter of what gets through to me.
Right, so that
I'm talking about in the studio, yeah.
In the studio, which is
but I think
fairly important.
Still resentful.
Somebody had to make the decision.
And I lost my train.
And he said that sometimes he'd be trying to hand you something and you would not look at it because you were busy
Who's that?
writing your own thing. Fred.
I'm sitting there trying to be in your head and writing stuff, and sometimes I'm in the middle of writing something, and he's like wagging it, and I'm like, hold on. And, it was so much fun. I got about 10 things. I'd have to find them at least 10 times. He would hand me a note. He would hand me a note, and it would already be something word for word what I'd already written, because we were on the exact same plane. But he was, it just got so funny, because he thinks that everybody hates him, So I would write something, and you would say something horrible to Fred, because I'd write something horrible, and he would look over in the bin. Because he'd say to himself, did Howard say that because he hates me? And he'd look in the bin to see if...
What are you trying to say, Fred?
We're steering away from the actual fact. The fact of the matter is you appointed yourself head writer. True or false?
Yes.
Thank you.
I absolutely did.
And I don't think there's anybody in this room, if you were working on an equal plane, that wouldn't feel upset about that.
What? Why didn't you say something? If I was,
because I think I was a team player.
When I came on the show, now I remember when I came on the show, when we went to mornings, or maybe it was in the when we first went to K-Rock at the old TED building.
So
I
Fred was
TED
like your
building.
assistant.
No, but when we went to the TED building, I used to write on the 8x10 papers with a Sharpie, and Fred would write on a little piece of scrap paper and hand me something.
Right.
And I'd have to rewrite it and put it in front of you. Now, by the time he writes it, gives it to me, I read it and rewrite it. And finally, at one point, I said, this is ridiculous. And I got a stack of paper and put it in front of Fred and said, here's a Sharpie. Write it so he can read it, and I'll pass it to him, because we're losing the moment by you writing it, hand it to me, and me.
All right, so there was
he was the head writer.
So I think I had something. I don't think you've ever passed a note the entire time during the show till I got there, Fred. I mean, I may be wrong.
No,
I started that whole thing, and he started handing me scraps of paper, and I was like,
no, Jackie,
you see what I'm saying?
Before you came, I was actually writing bits and writing song parodies and coming up with ideas. So,
but who's denying that?
The mechanism may have been different, but I was still contributing.
All right. Listen, it's never going to...
Who's saying you didn't contribute?
Jackie was head writer because he had nicer penmanship.
That's it.
Thank you.
What is it
you want something?
And it makes a difference.
I stand corrected, Jackie. You're absolutely right.
What was it you created? The flying gag writer?
All right, listen. Let's stop this before it gets ugly. Dominic Barber wants to say hi. He has a question for Jackie. Go ahead, Dominic.
First of all, he, of course, invented the bloated attorney. However, you haven't gone into the last negotiation. You haven't discussed how it all ended.
Didn't we do that on the last day of K-Rock?
Yeah, Dominic, enough.
Enough with that. We have to move on to Jackie's present day.
What wife are you on?
He's on his. It's going to be his fourth wife.
Who is?
You got to stop rolling over on him, Dominic.
All right, Dominic, congratulations. Yes, Dominic has announced he is remarrying Leslie.
Yeah, so his third and fourth wife.
I was making a joke. Is that true?
It's true. They got a divorce, but now he's remarrying Leslie.
And I think it was actually Fred that came up with bloated attorney.
There you go.
No, I think Jackie did.
I think you did.
No, I think you did. I don't want to take credit for that.
All right, let's go to Sonny. Sonny, go ahead. You're on the air in Middlesex, New Jersey with Jackie, the joke man Martling. A walk down memory lane today between him and Fred and all the
And let me
excitement.
say what an honor it is to talk to Jackie. And, Fred, you could say whatever you want about Jackie. I don't think anyone could deny that he is just extraordinarily talented and that he has contributed a lot to the show.
I'm waiting for this shoe to drop.
Never said anything to the contrary, man.
Hey, Wolf.
Hello.
Yeah, well, I did want to say that I wanted to play Stump the Joke Man just for old time's sake and see if I could stump Jackie.
All right, go ahead.
So, Jackie, how was the copper wire invented?
How was the copper wire invented?
Two Jews fighting over a penny.
Son of a bitch.
Wow. All right, there you go.
Hold on. Hey, Howard, can I ask Jackie? Benji was saying the other day that he feels that there's some animosity between you guys. Do you feel that way, Jackie, or what?
Benji said on the wrap-up show
Yeah.
that,
What did he say?
as a general, he goes, Jackie's nice to me at times, but he said he feels that Jackie's been very mean and rude to him at times, recently as well as back then. I think there was a weird dynamic, almost like what was going on with Fred and Jackie. When Benji came into the studio to sit next to Jackie,
Jackie would say many times, "This guy's trying to steal my job."
No, it was definitely a pain in the ass because, you talk about Fred's waggling a piece of paper trying to get his joke in. Not trying, he's helping the show. He's got a good idea, but I got Fred and now I got Benji too, and I'm trying to write, and so it was coming at both ends. It was a little much.
But that's the job of a head writer.
That was the job of a head
pressure.
writer.
But
But it was nothing personal.
Benji insinuated that off the air, Jackie had said things to him that he considered rude.
What did he say?
Like
to you,
what?
Benji? Like
This is
what?
news to me.
Yeah, what is this?
I'm the only guy that gave you a Christmas tip, Benji.
Well, you don't tip your coworker; you give him a gift.
You actually owe me a couple $1,000, but that's my fault for not billing you for the food. But
that's true.
Me and Fred, we kept saying, Benji, tell us what we owe you.
Tell us what the problem is. Have it out with Jackie now, or
Benji.
forever hold your tongue.
Listen, I totally acknowledge you created what I do.
You look good.
You look good.
It's been good for you.
And Jackie could have ruined what I did, too. He could have destroyed it.
What?
But,
what do you just tell us what's on your mind, or shut up?
Wait, I don't. What's that? I could have ruined what you do.
Yeah, you could have totally destroyed it.
What's he saying?
I think he feels like maybe he was sabotaging
your employee.
something.
Well, it's your fault he's here.
No, generally off air, you've always been kind of mean to me.
Really?
In what way?
But who isn't mean to you?
Yeah,
a lot of people. I have a lot of friends.
Really?
Yeah.
I know. I don't like it.
It's right now. It's like a fake frivolity.
Right.
And
no, but when have I ever been mean to you, Benji?
Can you give us
at times you've been nice too,
You know what?
Jackie.
He's
I'm just
being
saying,
outrageous for the show.
In the hall,
No, he's really said this, but I would like for him to explain it.
Yeah,
succinctly.
I don't understand.
I'm not bitter about it. It's just I'm saying, Jackie, you have a certain way of always putting me down and not being like a friendly person.
Not to be a bullbuster, Benji, but I don't think I go to the trouble.
Okay.
What is
I
an
really
example
don't,
of
and
that?
I apologize.
Honestly, what's the example of that?
Yeah, of course it's mean.
Well, what Jackie just said is kind of mean.
In other words, you don't
Very
think
mean.
about Benji.
Yeah, like what? I don't have the history with him that I have with you guys,
right.
so it's not like instant rapport
Listen, I'm not
and
saying
giggling.
we don't have any kind of feud or anything, but
Well, then what do you?
I'm saying you're
I'm not a rude guy. I've never been called rude by anybody. What are you talking about?
all right. Well,
What I do?
Benji, can you give us an example?
Yes,
Yeah,
say
Benji.
something,
I mean,
Benji.
Jackie used to have you out to his house. I remember that, didn't he?
I have videotape of Benji drinking my food, drinking my beer, and eating my food.
Drinking food is a problem.
Right. Benji, I remember you being at Jackie's house.
I absolutely.
And
I
you didn't feel
say
welcome
it's all-
then?
I'm saying it's actually been more so the last couple years.
I've been
what
here.
has he
I've
said
been
to
here
you?
twice.
It's not, Robin.
In
it's
6
just-
years, I've
listen,
been here twice.
Have you ever felt anyone act cold towards you?
I suppose.
And that's
But
that's
I'd
what-
be able to cite an example.
Cold to me.
I was probably being cold to them. You know, wasn't that the way it was, Jackie?
Well, why don't you go over and talk to Jackie? Maybe.
No.
You're not looking for that? All right. Thank you.
Thank you, Howard.
All right. Thank you.
F Jackie.
Thank you.
All right, let's go to Lena. Lena, you're on the air. Let's say hi to Jackie the Joke Man in Miami. Lena.
Hey, Howard. Do me a favor. I'm going to tune into Alt Nation when Jackie leaves. Please send an intern to Alt Nation. Let me know that I can go back on to the show.
Why don't you want to hear
You've
Jackie?
listened to Jackie for like an hour already.
I hate him. I'd rather hear Artie chewing on a muffin.
All right, thank you.
And that's Jackie's sister.
Marty, go ahead.
Hi, Howard. This is Marty. I agree so much with Fred. I pretty much can't stand how self-serving Jackie is. I mean, the only reason he is on there is to promote his new contract, and isn't it funny how he only is on there when he finally gets a new contract, and you've been asking for him to come in for how long now? For over a year?
Well, why do you have to be like that? I mean, he has things to promote, and that's why people come in. And I don't think he's doing anything that's not.
I mean, this is how it is. You know, come in and I should have come in, and then you come in, and it's like, what's he doing?
Yeah.
You know, it's like
everyone wanted you in, and now you're here, and then they want you to leave. John, go ahead. You're on the air. John.
Yeah, what's happening, guys? Listen, I got two things. First of all, since we're talking about the Artie chair, the Jackie chair, I'd like to promote the next replacement to be either Fitzsimmons or Mohammed Al-Fayed. And actually,
Muhammad was good.
He was good.
Oh, he was a home run. No,
Yes.
grand slam, 3-point shot, what the fuck.
Right.
Whatever. Richard Jenny, also, I heard he actually killed himself because of the goddamn Jackie plugs just overwhelmed him.
I expected that to be the
All right. Well, thank you, John, for that comment. Let's see if there's anybody who wants to say hi to Jackie. Ray in the Bronx.
Yeah, this is Pothead Ray. Howard, I love you. Artie, I love you. Fred, I think they should have Jackie come over once a month so you could talk more and just keep ragging on him.
You know what? I think that's a great idea.
That's right. I have to say Fred has come out of his shell.
There you go.
I thought Fred was the one who left the show. I actually heard more from Jackie on the show than Fred. But no, seriously, Fred, I like seeing you involved with Jackie
so we should
again.
bring Jackie around some more.
That's right.
A little dysfunction doesn't hurt.
That's
I was
right.
watching your movie, and Fred, you were talking so much, and I love it so much. And then when Jackie comes on, you're ragging on him. I'm like, this is awesome. This is classic right here.
That's
All right.
amazing. It's like,
Let's get to John. John
But that really is true, right? I mean, he really doesn't talk a lot.
Right.
you want to know something? I actually have a serious question because I know he wants to take it down that road.
Go ahead, and then John, you can ask your
How
question.
many
Go ahead.
times has Stuttering John called you since he's left this show? Seriously.
Since John left or since Jackie
John
left?
left this show.
Since John left this show.
And since Jackie left the show.
I'm not exactly sure what you mean.
I think he's asking.
Has John
His
called
family stayed with me last summer until the fleas chased him away. No, I see John. I see John in California, and he comes out here and comes by. Why?
For a while,
just asking.
Are you saying because for a while Jackie wouldn't see John until John got the job with the Tonight Show?
Bingo.
Oh.
Yeah, because he seems to do that. He seems to drop calling a lot of people, i.e. Robin, stuff like that. I don't expect him to call me,
Jackie and
nor do
I
want
never
him to.
had like a phone relationship.
But John? You and John?
No, he's talking about John.
Oh, he's talking about
I
John.
know after Jackie
You have to
left,
follow Fred.
John
And if
told me
anybody did anything for John, it was Robin.
Jackie never called John after he left the show, and then
That's true.
he started calling him after John got the job at the Tonight
that's
Show.
also not true.
That is true.
Well, John used to complain that you wouldn't call him. That's what I know.
He was very upset with you.
No, please.
But you guys have patched things up.
I think the phone lines were too blustery, Jack.
All right. John, what's your question for Jackie the Joke Man Martling, who again is going to be hosting the Hippie Fest at the New Jersey Performing Arts Center in Newark and Friday at Ferraris in Point Pleasant Beach, New Jersey.
Wow.
And go to jokeland.com. All right, John, go ahead.
Yeah, I just want to say, Jackie, I love your show. But I don't think I ever heard why you and your wife split. Did you ever talk about that?
Yeah, what happened
She
there?
had sex with a black man in 1974 on the lawn of...
No, why'd you leave your wife? What happened? Do you feel like...
why'd you leave yours?
Wait a minute, were things
they're
on
asking. I've already gone into why. I
Yeah,
left
but
mine.
you know,
Let me
You
ask
haven't.
the
20 years,
questions.
20 years under the table. You know,
Was it break? You know, was there a problem in the marriage while the show was
on the
filmed?
honeymoon. Yeah,
On the honeymoon.
I always said
No.
Jackie would
We
get
had a great
divorce.
marriage.
Well,
but on
you
the
said
way-
he was going to be the first to get a divorce. You used to say that in the group.
Yeah,
and,
he would have been.
And then you used to
Did
say,
I ever
if
tell you
got
that
a
that
divorce,
was the
he'd
only
be the first
clue
to follow.
The only clue that I ever had that there was anything happening with you is
What?
that
When we had that envelope thing?
one time we were doing commercial and Gary just looked around and said, you know, I just read something that said 50% of people get divorced, and who do you think will be first out of all of us? And you said, I know who's going to be first.
Right.
Because I guess it had already started and nobody knew, and
Right.
but nobody picked up on that. But it kind of stayed in my head, and all of a sudden one day I was down in Atlantic City and said, you know,
I got a
Stern
divorce.
and wife to split, and I'm like, Jesus.
Yeah. It's weird.
It sucks, but we're still good pals. We're friends and we don't have sex. It's like we're married.
Right. But what, you got bored with her? Is that it?
No, we
Did she get too old?
We fought. Oh yeah, she's a girl. No, she looks like she did when I married her. I mean, she looks great.
Who's she with now? She hook up with anybody?
Yeah, with a guy like 100 years younger than me.
Oh, really? Oh, great.
I'm 10 years older than her, and she's 10 years older than him. And I call him son.
Right. Wow.
But a really nice guy.
I gotta say, getting back to the woman conversation, though, me and Jackie were actually in an independent film together, and the premiere a few years ago, I remember Jackie was there with a beautiful chick.
Uh-huh.
Do you know who I don't know if you were dating her at the time.
Not to pat myself on the back, but I remember who it was.
Oh, okay. Now, she was really hot. She was younger.
Do you wish you had divorced her earlier while you were still with the show? Because there's so many more women available when you're with the show.
Yeah, and we had so much spare time.
Well, come on. You like the ladies. And
no. We were doing well until, I don't know, last couple of years. But we were so busy that, doing the show and then working on the weekends, the last thing I was going to do was go looking for a bachelor pad. Right. And I had a few hours to myself.
All right.
So it wasn't like I left the show and we were, for
was
practical
it because
purposes,
you were
split
home
up.
all the time?
I didn't come in here. Yeah.
All right, let's go to Steven. Steven, go ahead for Jackie. You got a couple more minutes.
Hey
go ahead.
now.
Yeah, hey now.
Jackie, you still a real estate mogul up there with those piece of shit houses in New York?
Yeah, how many homes do you own?
You never heard of divorce?
How many homes do you have now?
Split them up.
Do you still have your apartment in the city?
Yes, I do.
Oh, you got that in the divorce?
I don't own that. I rent an apartment.
Oh, you rented an apartment.
And it's tiny.
Okay, and what about your
I have a house on the beach, and she got the other houses.
All the other homes
All the other houses.
Wow, they're shacks. It's like she got Baltic Avenue and Mediterranean Avenue,
It's
and
like
I got
Monopoly.
North Carolina Avenue.
Oh, so you have the beach house. She has all the other homes. Holy cow.
She got the office. Jokeland she got?
Jokeland.
Jackie worked his ass off.
She
Got
got
up
the
early
recording
many
studio?
No,
days.
it's totally out.
She got the performance space and everything?
Got it all.
What about your performance shack?
I rent it.
The studio?
Apricot Studios.
It's like Nancy's head writer when it comes out.
She's great. Oh, and by the way, she sends her love.
Well, send her my love. I always
I told her I was doing a show today. She said, tell him I saw.
I always had a fond spot for her.
I know. Yeah. She always liked you guys.
Yeah, you say you're in business together, right?
You know what? Somebody said that you guys were rehashing about when me and you and Allison and Nancy went to Broadway one time. And you picked us up in the limo, and you still have the myth about that Nancy cornered Allison and said, what, are you crazy with him? Are you nuts? And meanwhile, she said, wow, congratulations, it's you put up with a lot or something. And we immediately left that conversation, and we spent the entire ride to the city arguing whether or not Fred was crazy. And you never would have. You kept saying, yeah, Nancy beat up Allison all the way to the city and back.
Nancy was a troublemaker.
Finally, one day I had to say that isn't what happened, because you were arguing that Fred wasn't normal, and we were arguing that he was. By the way, Fred.
I don't remember that.
That's the second good news. That's the second good news bulletin I've gotten today.
Hey, I got to sit and work with him. What are you doing?
I know.
All right, I think Fred, it's not true. I don't care what
you
he
say
says.
you guys are in business together. Where's the business?
I think the Magic 8 Ball has spoken, and that is
you and Nancy. What is?
No, we're not in business.
You're not in business together. I heard that you were still in business together.
Well, she sang on my record.
Oh, okay.
All right, okay, there you go. All right, listen, Jackie.
I didn't bring my CD because it ain't out yet.
Oh,
but I want to come back. I want to come back with I'm playing with guys that
Come
are
back with your band. We
spectacular.
want to hear these fucking songs. Jackie the Joke Man. Once again, you can see Jackie's band, Jackie's Music Hunt, March 21st at the Stress Factory in New Brunswick, New Jersey. And Jackie will be at the Patchogue Theater in Patchogue, Long Island, March 24th. And there's additional dates, all kinds of things with Hippie Fest and also Ferraras. And if you want any kind of information, you know where to go. Jokeland.com. How'd I do, Jackie, with that
I'm
plug?
flabbergasted.
All right,
I could
there
sit
it
through
is.
it again.
Well, where are the jokes? You used to keep every joke.
That's what everybody asks.
That you wrote for the show. Where are they now?
Where are all the jokes you wrote?
They're all in the computer.
They're all there.
They're all
cataloged.
hiding in the computer.
All right.
But the original papers, do you still keep those? Or
Oh, the jokes from this show? Oh, they're in my mother's attic somewhere.
Yeah.
There you go. Of course, your mother's gone, but the attic is still there.
But she's up to her ghost is guarding them.
All right. Jackie, thank you for stopping by. The fans love it. Even Artie loves it. Right, Artie?
Oh, this is great. Absolutely.
There you go. You see.
Do you want to hear my new joke?
Go ahead. New joke from Jackie. And by the way,
joke?
Jackie will be doing Jackie's Joke Hunt all year on Sirius on Howard 101, 7 o'clock tonight. Listen to Jackie.
7 o'clock tonight is the finger banging show. Me and Ian Carr.
Okay.
Who's just a delightful guy, and it repeats midnights on Wednesdays.
Well, let's hear your new joke.
So a woman says to her husband, I'm sure I can make you feel good and bad at the same time.
Okay.
And he says, go ahead and try. And she says, you have a much bigger dick than your brother.
That's good.
That'll do it.
There you go.
Leave him laughing.
Wow.
Is Fred laughing now?
No.
I thought you said a new joke.
I want to just say I love you, Fred Morris.
In a way, like
And I have something to say too. I think Jackie came in for a fact-finding mission. He wanted to check on Artie to see if, like, Artie was like listing like a ship in the harbor, if the heroin has gotten to him. Or
You
if
know, the story of...
So
Do you
if
pray for Artie's
Artie's
death?
ready to
Yeah.
die,
Jackie, you know.
Jackie's ready to
When
hop
they
back
said
into
there was
that
a
chair.
suicide, I said, was it Artie? And they said, no, Jenny.
But is Jackie
Hey,
calling
give me a couple
Well,
of
he
days.
moved one up on the ladder on
Fred
comedy.
Morris for a reason?
Yeah, well, he called me Jackie Marlowe. So I called him Fred Morris.
Fred Morris.
All right, go ahead.
No, but I know he loves this stuff because I completely had forgotten. And they interviewed Stuttering John and me and Fred for the 20th anniversary issue of Penthouse. And somebody said to him, "Oh, that's so funny, that whole silly thing about that you're from outer space, and where'd that come from?" And he said it in the interview, and it reminded me. Do you remember? It's so funny. You were doing a story that Burt Reynolds. You know how everything comes from nothing,
Right.
like that Baba Booey thing was nothing until
Right.
Gary said, you know,
Baba Booey.
yeah.
Oh, that's Fred's commentary.
He thinks there's an outside chance that'll get me to stop.
No, nothing can stop you, Jackie. We've all learned that.
So you were
The
doing
only
a
thing we
story.
didn't stop is when you walked out the door for the last time. That's the one thing we didn't
That's
stop.
the new head writer sitting there playing that sound.
Congratulations, Mr. Morris.
There you go.
So you were doing a story in the news, and you said Burt Reynolds just started a dinner theater in Jupiter. And we're just sitting there because at the time, 20 years ago, it was, you know, now I know there's a Jupiter, Florida. But who knew? And he said, in Jupiter. And Fred says, yeah, that's in Florida. And all I said was, and Fred knows that because he himself is from Pluto. And we did it stuck, and he's still pissed off.
Oh,
Still mad at you.
You know,
Is that true, Fred? Are you still angry about that?
No, but he got the story all wrong.
Did
What
you
is
ever,
the story?
No, I
Okay.
did. Did you ever see
It's
the
okay.
picture of when we're in Los Angeles and you're the king and Robin is the queen and I'm the jester and Gary, we're all king, queen, jester, like the deck of cards. And Fred's dressed as a freaking alien. It's the funniest goddamn thing. It makes no sense. Do you know the time I'm talking
I know. When we dressed up in costumes.
It was so
Right. You're saying Fred was the only one not in character.
You know what this is like? You know what this is like for me?
What is
There's
it
a
like?
drunk in the room, and he's telling a story,
You
and it's making
started
absolutely
it.
no sense,
You-
and it's only funny to that
It
one
made
drunk.
so much
And you're sitting there
sense.
going, okay, I hope Uncle Jack goes home soon.
You know what? This is another thing. You just reminded me of another reason I'm fucking pissed off at you. I was in a monkey outfit, which was your idea for every fucking sketch we did.
No, a lot of times that was Fred's idea.
I can't let him sink on that one, yeah. The one he hated the most, which was the diver's helmet, was mine.
My parents used to get mad at me that we put Gary in a monkey outfit. They said that wasn't nice.
That's the diver's helmet was Fred. Oh, that was
Absolutely.
The, oh,
and Gary complained because it was like 80 pounds.
Well, somehow, no matter what the sketch was, Gary wound up in a gorilla outfit or a monkey
Every
hat.
time. Every time. And then the ultimate was, which even like people in my family was like, what the fuck is wrong with you? Is you guys wrote a sketch for Buck-Bunko Fiesta where I ate a shitty diaper in a monkey outfit.
You know what's funny, Gary? It's like this is the 20-year high school reunion, and the school bully just came back.
Yeah, and he sees nothing wrong.
Yeah. All right, Jackie, you've had your fun.
Thank you, man.
You came
Thanks
in
for
here.
thanks for letting me come in.
We love having
I
you here
love it.
anytime. You know you're welcome. And the great Jackie, the joke man.
Hold on,
Martling.
Ronnie, we should come in here and get me past Fred.
You think it'll be uncomfortable when we get to
No, I
commercial?
love him. He knows how much I love him.
Fred, will it be uncomfortable for you?
Not for me. He's going home.
Everyone else will be
Have a
uncomfortable.
nice trip.
I'm out of here.
Yeah, that's true.
Thank you.
All right. Thank you, Jackie.
I got to go hug North. Yeah, great.
Thanks, Jack. Anytime.
That was Jack, Fred, let me get a picture.
You got to come in with your band.
Now, see, Benji, I don't hug you like that. Is that
Well, he knows Fred.
There you go. He's also
Give
trying to pick my
Benji a
pocket.
hug.
Get a picture.
Get Benji. Somebody take some pictures.
Come on, Benji, get in the picture.
Thanks, Jackie. You're taking a piss. I'll see you.
All right. Look at this. This is
Come on, get in the picture then.
How much I owe you, Ben? Come here, Arthur. Let me hug Arthur.
No, he's going and doing his thing.
So much fun.
Good luck with everything.
Thanks. Take care of yourself. Don't fuck up.
Jackie, how'd it go in there?
I don't know, man.
I mean,
it was great.
Well, I mean,
it was
what was
so
with-
much fun.
What was it, Fred? He kind of.
That's always Fred and me. That's always
You don't
Fred.
take it personally? Or?
Oh, please. I love Fred.
And then
Fred is one of the funniest, if not the funniest, and most talented guys that I've ever been in the same room with. I brag about him to this day. How I'll be talking about something, and before I get to the end of my sentence, he'll have made a joke and incorporated what I'm talking about before I get to the end of what I'm talking about. And I'm not exaggerating. He's brilliant. And working with him was like, writing a song with Lennon and McCartney.
I don't dislike Jackie. I know that sounds like the boring thing to say. I don't dislike Jackie. I may disagree with some of the things that he says or does. I may not see things the way that he does, but, and he calls me crazy. I will just say one thing, and this will be for the audience to decide. Jackie walked off the hottest show in radio. Now who's crazy?
What about Benji? He thinks you
No,
hate him.
he's crazy. He's just, he's just going for outrage, I think, I don't dislike him. I don't bother. Going for outrage,
It was a plan. I was going for outrage. It didn't work.
Not a plan, but no problem with the boy. No problem with the
So
boy.
you guys are good, no bad
No,
blood?
I don't like him, but I don't have to like him.
Benji, do you like him?
You don't have to like
him. At times I spent with him, I thought times he was a friend, at times he was mean.
I've never been mean to. Who have I ever been mean to besides Scott?
Me. Me. You asshole.
Oh.
Friday.
But it was great fun. Oh God. And that's what I miss is just sitting there and laughing and laughing and laughing. Even when they're breaking my balls, it's funny. It's funny.
All right, man. So you have a last joke for us?
A last joke.
You guys can go.
Oh, that was great. I don't even know. So a guy. Oh, I got one. So a woman goes into the drugstore and she says to the druggist, "I need to buy some cyanide to kill my husband." And druggist says, "I can't sell you cyanide to kill your husband. I'll go to jail, you'll go to jail, you're crazy." So she reaches in her purse and hands the druggist a picture of her husband fucking the druggist's wife. And the druggist says, "Oh, I didn't know you had a prescription." Come on, you don't even understand that? What the fuck is...
Haunted home of Howard Stern. What will he ask me this time? What secrets will he rip out of my gut? Stay tuned, you're about to find out. And we'll disclose some of the infighting that went on behind the scenes of Fame Games.
Good luck today, Mr. Leech.
Thank you very much.
Gary, where's Robin Leech? Robin Leech used to host Lifestyles of the Rich and Famous. There's a guy on the phone who has a good question, actually, for Robin. I should put him up first. Excuse me, Robin.
Thank you.
I'll call you Robin Quivers for the sake of this interview because Robin Leech is Robin also.
Yes.
Hey, Robin, nice to see you.
Hello.
I have a legal job. Of course I have a legal job.
What is your job? Well, here,
Who
sit down.
said you didn't?
I was
Don't
wondering
start
if
screaming.
I thought maybe you just retired and wanted to just hang out. That's not your style.
No. Thank you.
Maybe we thought you were selling drugs or something. I don't know. Drug
Someone told me you were a drug dealer. No.
They did?
No. How are you?
First of all, I'm absolutely wonderful. Congratulations on this palace of a penthouse.
You know, you're the guy who always ruins my head when I think about getting engaged. Because, I got engaged.
I know. And she's hosting The View this morning.
She is?
Yes.
Are you on The View today?
No.
No. Okay, well...
Why
Congratulations, by the way, on the engagement.
Do you laugh at someone like me? Do you think I'm crazy?
No, I know you.
But you've been engaged before.
Why does he ruin your head? I don't understand.
I'll tell you why. Robin Leech never gets married.
Right.
And
once was quite enough. Thank you.
And he's dated some of the hottest girls I've ever seen in my life.
Beautiful women.
I mean, the last time I actually got to hang out with him, he was on a beautiful island with a beautiful girl, and that broke up, and he got another beautiful girl.
Right.
I was just down there. Everybody sends their best. I came in from Jumbie Bay, Antigua on Sunday night.
Right.
And I introduced the new girl to the old girl.
No kidding. And everyone's your
Everybody
friend.
stays friends.
Amazing. So
isn't that the way it should be?
So I start thinking, he never ever gets into the whole marriage thing. He always,
but they bring it up.
And you won't go there.
The clock ticks.
And why don't
How
you?
long can you stay without getting committed? 5 years? And then after that, you're doomed.
Out the door.
First class ticket to the furthest city on earth.
You live with them and stuff, though, right?
Yeah, mostly.
Yeah. You're an amazing guy. Maybe I should hang with you. Maybe I just don't know what I'm doing.
Your engagement wouldn't last very long.
It wouldn't.
No.
What
you
goes wrong?
started hanging with all these guys who got married, Howard.
What goes wrong?
Yeah.
I think men are as much to blame as women.
Right.
I think, first of all, that both parties, as they spend longer and longer time with each other, forget about what the first flashes of excitement were and settle into the comfortable old slipper routine.
Yeah.
And we're all guilty of it.
Right.
It just takes, I think, maturity to recognize that, you know, the guy is at fault as the woman is.
And then you start to realize it.
And no disrespect to Robin, who she knows I adore dearly, but women really become a pain in the ass once they've got the ring, and you've said I do, and you will go on doing for the rest of your life.
That's the mistake, saying I do. And then they say, yes, you will.
And it doesn't matter whether the word obey and respect is in the ceremony or it isn't.
The hell out of me. You do. You scare me.
No, Beth would get on my case. Beth is a beautiful woman.
She is.
Yes.
But you're saying I should not be...
themselves go.
I should not be married, right?
No, you really shouldn't be married.
I shouldn't.
You should just live with each other happily. And then when it breaks up, and it's much easier to do it, you know, when lawyers aren't involved and all that.
Right. Although you've been sued, even though you...
Oh, yes.
Women try, right? I remember...
No, lawyers try.
Lawyers try to get you, but they really have no legal leg to stand on. You're not married, and you're upfront about it.
Do you ever draw up papers with these women of any sort?
Nowadays.
You do? Yeah.
How far into the relationship do you draw papers?
I would suggest pretty soon after you've moved in with each other, because lawyers have a way of determining that a common residence immediately belongs to the woman.
Right.
The moment you give her the key.
Amazing how that happens.
It's amazing.
Ooh.
Right.
Lawyers have screwed up more marriages than any wife or husband.
But let me ask you, Robin, do you know of a happily married couple?
Yeah, I do, actually.
See?
And I would very much like to be one of those rarities in life, but it's like finding a diamond in a mine, you know.
Is it also that women age? I mean, the fact is you do like young women.
I don't think that enters into it.
How old you have a beautiful girlfriend now, right?
23.
She's 23.
Wow.
Yeah.
You mind me asking how old you are now? What is the age spread? That's awesome. She's 23.
It's higher than the Final Four will be in Vegas.
Who is this girl again? She's a famous girl, right?
No, she's not that famous, but she's on Spike TV. She's the host of Ultimate Fighting Championships.
Wow.
On Spike, and she was a pussycat doll in Las Vegas.
Wow.
No shit. Look at you. You get them all.
It's laughter.
How did you meet her?
It's laughter.
Laughter?
What are you laughing about?
Yeah, what do you... He does laugh a lot. How'd you meet this broad?
She actually turned up unexpectedly at my birthday party last year.
And you just talking to her? I've seen you in
she was the most dynamite woman in the room.
And did you say to yourself, she's too young, she's 23?
That never enters into it.
It never does. You never say, I can't get her.
You always go after the most beautiful girl in the room.
Look at you.
And you doesn't?
Because
you're like a fucking genius.
Most of the guys ignore the most beautiful girl in the room because they're frightened of getting no.
You're right. So what does it cost you? You go over. What did you say? Take me through this.
What do you say?
I can't remember what I said to this one.
All right, but give me the general synopsis. You see this girl. She's the most beautiful girl in the room, and I don't doubt it. 23 on Spike TV.
Is there no age that would deter you? I mean, if a girl...
Well, 14 might turn
14, okay, that's illegal.
If it was legal, it might not. But I'm saying, the youngest you've dated, what, like 18, right? I would imagine.
Yeah, 18.
18, okay.
Wow.
So, you see this girl...
That was the one who read the menu upside down in the restaurant and said, I'll have that.
You're at the... that was good.
To find out.
You're at the birthday party. And the fact that she's at your birthday party means she knows, she's aware of your celebrity, she sees you, you're a successful, influential man.
And you're the belle of the ball.
And the belle of the ball, as always.
When we're going dancing, Quivers.
So what do? You walk over to her and, hello, I'm Mr. Robin Leech.
I don't think I even bother with that anymore.
You don't.
Time is ticking, Howard.
Right.
We can cut to the chase.
You say, hey, I need a blowjob. What do you do?
No.
Right.
English people people aren't quite that blunt about it.
Right. What did you say?
We wrap it up in candy.
Do you walk up and say, "You're very charming, miss," or
I really can't. It depends on the spur of the moment, Howard. It's all ad lib, just
but
like
you
do.
never
There's
go-
no set pattern. There's no routine.
But you never have
No
this
lines.
attitude. I'm too old for her.
No.
None of that.
I'm as young as they are in my mind and my body.
Right.
Even though I know that the body is well worn and torn.
Right. Well, you've been through a lot.
Yes.
It's
and will
unreal.
continue to be.
So now, how long you been with this broad?
Since August of last year.
Look at you. Look at you. And you're still
And
doing
you
it?
travel the world and have a good time.
And you brought her down to that island that you live on?
Yes.
And you got the champagne going and the whole
Yes.
deal. I've seen you in action in this. That's why I had to get divorced. I go down.
His divorce is my fault.
You
Robin
were
Leach.
the star.
I was the catalyst of that moment.
He got shaky after seeing
I
you
go down there.
there.
I see the party going, and he's walking around in a kimono, and he is carrying on with champagne, and there's two women in a tub, and I'm like, what
It's
the
all
hell?
your fault.
There's a guy on the phone who had a good question. I don't want him to go, but let him ask the question because this is relevant. Mark, go ahead in Jersey.
Howard, strangely enough that you have Robin on because we were having this discussion, a friend and I last week. The show Cribs, and then you could make the argument that maybe Anna Nicole and the whole celebrity genre got started by Robin with his Lifestyles of the Rich and Famous.
Absolutely.
The important question is, do you feel that the show Cribs, which is on MTV, which is basically people visiting wealthy people's homes.
A ripoff.
Yeah.
It's a ripoff, right?
Total ripoff.
Do you ever
With
think
a
to
fake
sue?
English voice.
But do you ever think to sue?
Nah, it's not worth it.
Really? Like
Imitation is the sincerest form of flattery.
How do you reconcile that? Because I know I'm a little burned up
Because I
right
made
now.
more money than they are.
That's true. You got enough money, you don't care.
Right.
Now, isn't Cribs the one that even uses a man with a British accent?
Well, it isn't actually, Mark. It's actually an American who tries to imitate me very badly and succeeds.
Now you're thinking, they talk about the money they spend, and they go like Paris Hilton spent $30,000,
Right, yeah.
on a pocketbook. It is lame. I'd be pissed off if I were you.
I got pissed off. We did this bit for 15 years. We take fifth graders, and we'd see if you're smarter than a fifth grader. So now they have a TV show that's this huge hit. And it's not the money. I think the credit.
Yeah, I agree with you. It's not being recognized for you being the original creator.
And then I read in the paper, go, oh, what a genius idea. And then I read the interview with the guy who supposedly created it. He's from Long
he's got
Island.
to carry on the myth.
Yeah, and he sure does. You know, a Long Island guy and all this. And I know I'm not buying it. Okay, I got to ask you a couple of questions.
Yeah.
All right, so you're not doing Lifestyles and the Rich and Famous anymore.
No.
What are you doing?
Yeah, what are you doing?
Well, we just finished a show on VH1 on Sunday night called Fame Games.
Right, that's what it was.
Yes, which was 10 wonderful hours of train wreck entertainment. Talk about a circus of emotionally
He had China on that
dysfunctional
show.
people.
You took all of those reality show people
and turned it into a contest.
A game, yeah.
Well,
that sounds
yeah,
good.
a little more than that. It was, again, an original idea, which was to see if they were bright enough, smart enough, or emotionally strong enough, or they could betray one another.
And what happened?
To
They betrayed
reclaim their fame.
Did you have fun doing it?
Oh, yeah. It was absolutely hysterical.
You know, one of the best things about the show was, you know, in the contest, if you didn't win, you had to go to like a doghouse sort of thing where, you know, you worked.
Not quite the doghouse.
Right. But
similar.
you were not as famous, so you didn't get good food, you didn't get anything.
Hey, you know, I got to bring this up because we're talking about Robin's dating, and I almost missed this. Robin's dating a member of the Las Vegas Pussycat Dolls and the woman on Spike. In 2006, Robin was dating B-movie actress and Playboy model Joan Severance. Is that true?
Yeah.
Well, look at you. What the fuck? What?
Howard.
You are the man.
Is there no one you can't get?
Can you? Is there anyone you haven't had? Or
Robin Quivers.
We think we have a picture of the girl that Robin's dating, but it seems impossible.
What do you mean impossible?
Robin, is this the girl?
No, that's the wrong one.
See, it is impossible.
It's probably not impossible.
I don't know who that one is.
Whoever that is looks good, though.
He'll be dating her next.
Give that number to Robin. He'll be dating her next week. So if this girlfriend now comes to you and says, Robin, I want to be married, you will boot her. That's it.
Don't you also have to stay in the younger age bracket to keep that conversation away for a longer time?
No, they're worse.
Really?
Are they really? Because I thought like a 34-year-old is like ready to.
No, because well, that's true. But if you go just a shade past that, the clock's already tucked.
Nice.
But a 23-year-old is asking about marriage?
You'd be amazed what goes on out there.
Wow.
Unbelievable. Hey,
it's a minefield.
Is it true you were at dinner with Simon Fuller, the creator of American Idol?
Yes.
And Michael
Jackson. Yeah.
You were there.
That's
I was
right.
there.
I was reading about that not too long ago. You guys are trying to figure out how to revive his career?
No, they were. Not me.
How do you end up at
I
that
was
dinner?
just an observer.
How do you end up at that dinner? I know Michael Jackson's very paranoid about who's at a dinner.
I've met Michael a number of times.
Okay.
And again, the public persona and the private guy, two different things. So Kenny Ortega and Michael were having dinner with Simon Fuller and one other guy.
Who's Kenny Ortega?
Kenny Ortega was the guy who did Michael's world shows. He was the director and the choreographer, and he has a